Hi, it's me, Wyatt, the boy,
And me, Clem, the lobster.
and you're listening to The Lobster and His Boy, in which we're rereading the Chronicles of Narnia in publication order. In this episode, we are going to discuss the second half of our fourth book, The Silver Chair. We left off with our trio in Harfang, the city of giants, 3 signs missed, and only one chance at escaping the city alive.
I was so excited to read it that I sped through it and then reread it again because I found my favorite part in the book, and it was indeed this. Doesn't mean it's going to be my favorite book, but it definitely had that magical moment that I was waiting for, and
Right.
I'm excited to jump into it.
Smee too. Smee from
Captain Hook?
from Peter Pan.
I like that we both said like neither.
No, who fucks Peter Pan? It's not Captain Hook.
Technically, yeah. I mean, Hook.
Yeah,
Where are we?
we are in chapter 9.
How they discovered something worth knowing.
I do love that we stopped the last recording halfway through and I hadn't finished the book. It added to the cliffhanger for me, so I also I was very excited to jump back in, and I think I read the next 2 chapters when I got home or something that night.
I mean, I probably read through this faster than I should have. Technically, if we're following the rules that we decided on, because, hey, why not? It's fun. I also think that it's good that we're both still as excited to continue to read this book series, because, I don't know.
We're 4 books into a 7-book series, and honestly, I think that a lot of other podcasts would get to this point over a year in. But we managed to cram it in. They might be longer episodes, but I will not bend and only do an hour and a half episode. I will do however long it needs to be to talk about the chapters I want to talk about, because although I do love this and love this book series, I don't want to talk about it for 2 years.
Absolutely not.
So I guess we can get into it.
Also, we make the rules, man. It's our Narnia, not their Narnia. No.
Not their Narnia.
It's all
Aslan.
it's Aslan. Yeah, I was gonna say it's all of our Narnia, but yes, thank you. So giants.
And yes, as we left off, they're stuck. They need to escape in the middle of the day. The queen and the king and everybody, they're going on the hunting party, and Jill is running around the castle talking to everybody. Though her tongue was never still, you could hardly say she talked. She prattled and giggled. She's just on this little child manipulative streak, getting all the info she can out of the giants, just seeming like a little innocent girl, and she's good at it. It says that boys aren't as good as girls, and marshwiggles aren't as good as boys at this type of behavior. I'm like, well, I think most children are pretty adept at it. Maybe just not Eustace.
It's kind of hard to think of Eustace hamming it up, playing into his childish cuteness for attention. I mean, it seems like the antithesis of everything that he's cultivated in his intelligent, rational, emotionless little boy brain.
Exactly. And she's killing it. The giantesses, that's right?
Yes.
They're eating it up. The giants think she's so cute too, but the giantess, oh, a poor little thing. They think she's just the cutest little thing.
Won't you be so small to them too?
Yeah.
So I mean, if Hagrid's a half giant,
right? They're at least probably 30 feet tall. I don't know though, because the old one is Hagrid size, and they call her tiny. Whatever. They're big.
this is owl semantics all over again.
It is. It's owl math. But they're it's so sad, and I'm like, wait, is it sad she's small, and they like her? Is it sad that they're gonna eat her?
I'm sorry, record scratch noise. What?
I don't know. They've been giving little hinty hoos about it with the giant licking the lips and all the things. I'm like, we were told they were gentle, but it's giving. But while she was in the kitchen, she found out from the chef that there's a scullery door that leads to the outer wall, and it like surpasses the courtyard, but they need to go eat lunch because it's lunchtime. They'll ring some bell or a big old triangle or something, I'm sure. And that lunch, I think it notes that Jill enjoys the meal. Like, she's loving it. They're eating cold venison near some big man giants, and their conversation is happening so high that the kids kind of like stop paying attention. It says that it, as if, I don't know, some sort of birds or something. It's like whatever's happening up there just doesn't matter, so they don't care. And Puddleglum interrupts whatever conversation the kids are having, and he says to stop eating. And they're like, what? Why? Like, is it poisoned? Like, they're eating it. What's up? And he tells them that he overheard the giants talking about the killing of the deer and what the deer had said during this killing. I didn't even quote it because I was upset that they have now found out that they were eating a talking deer. They're eating a Narnian for lunch right now. And yeah, Lewis tells us it has a different effect on all three, as, I mean, of course, this would have a different effect on anybody who would ingest a being of human or above intelligence. And it's awful. It's a 0 out of 10. I mean, I guess I know why he put it in there, but also I just don't want it. I don't want to read about it. I don't want it. Take it back, Lewis.
I mean, this is a reoccurring theme with him where it's like, you could have just not had that part. I mean, you know, like the kids feel like they've murdered someone, and then Puddleglum feels like he'd eaten a baby.
Yeah. Like, if you had found out you had eaten a baby, not even just killed, like, you ate it. He's eaten this animal, his neighbor. And he's like, we're cursed.
Yeah.
We are cursed by Aslan. We didn't follow the signs, and honestly, we should just...
Yeah, we brought the anger of Aslan on us.
Yeah, he thinks they should just call it quits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, okay, like, I don't want to be a person to tell anybody to calm down, so I won't. But
don't be Taylor Swift.
But your journey is not over yet, Puddleglum. So hold on.
Yeah, lunch isn't over yet.
No, but after lunch, giants all kind of dissipate in. They're waiting for the hunting party to come back, and they're left with one giantess in the kitchen. And she's like, oh, you two, you guys, can you just go and hang out somewhere? Like, I need to take a nap. The hunting party's not back. And they're like, when will they be back? And they're still playing it up. She's like, well, they'll be back when they'll be back. Like, I need to nap. I ate a lot for lunch. Monster.
Delicious picnic of carnage.
of murder.
Mm-hmm.
And she lets them know that she left the scullery door open still for the cat. Because the cat likes to go outside, which is a sweet moment, but also I don't care. And now is their chance. Well, once she falls asleep, it will be their chance. So they just kind of sit in the pantry waiting for this giantess to fall asleep. And Jill's got her ADHD brain and starts wandering around. She's like, I don't want to wait anymore. Let's adventure. And sees 2 big old pie dishes. And that she's like, I could like lay down here. Maybe I'll take a nap. And
Jesus.
She sees a cookery book. She calls it a cookery book, which is a cookbook for us Americans.
Mm-hmm.
A cookery book for Mallard.
This delicious bird can be cooked in a variety of ways.
Delicious duck pie. I don't really like duck. Actually, I didn't take that back. Oh my god. I said I take that back so many fucking times last episode.
Are you counting?
I didn't count, but I meant to. It was upwards of like 4 times. I said something, and then you said something else, and I go, okay, no, I take it back. I take it back. You should always be willing to change your opinions when you're awarded with new information.
Yeah, I think you should always be willing to change your period or your appearance. You should
Always be willing to
change your appearance.
If someone calls you ugly, change.
Change for everyone. No, your opinion should always be able to be changed. Like,
Yeah, when new information appears and it.
ghosts.
Yes, exactly.
That's it.
Speaking of ghosts, the cookery book.
Back to the cookery book. So in this cookery book, we've got mallard, a delicious bird that can be
Yes,
cooked
of
in a
course,
variety
of
of
course.
ways.
And we go alphabetically.
Yeah,
The next
which would
animal would be
Man.
man. And not as in like, man, that sounds tasty. Man, as in the species.
Man as in. This elegant little biped has long been valued as a delicacy. It forms a traditional part of the Autumn Fest and is served between the fish and the joint. Well, it's nice to know they pause and have a little break.
Yeah, and they have a little man pie between the fish and the joint. And I didn't look up what a joint is in a feast. I prefer to just imagine that they take a smoke break in the middle of their feast and then continue feasting.
It's
Even
giving
if they
hobbits.
are, yeah, even if they are eating people, like, give me some whimsy. And the next, because she continues to read after man, I would have been way the fuck out of there as soon as I read that. But they continue to read, and the next entry is Marshwiggle.
Some authorities reject this animal altogether as unfit for giants' consumption because of its stringy consistency and muddy flavor. The flavor can, however, be greatly reduced if...
And they finally hear the giantess snore, and they're like, we need to get the fuck out of here. Don't even finish reading.
It's time to go, girl.
Yeah, they're cooking both of us. It was one thing when they were just cooking the kids. But now that they're cooking the only light in their life, Puddleglum, they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you gotta keep that sunshine in your life.
Yes, this sad gray ray of sunshine that we love dearly.
Oh my god, thank you.
And the scullery door, like they were told, just leads right outside of the castle wall. And they escaped. Ta-da! They're walking basically backwards from whence they came, and now that it's daytime, they realize that there's lots of windows. I think it says like hundreds, or at least 20 windows. I mean, it's a castle.
Yeah.
There's lots of windows.
I think nearer 50 than 5, which isn't really much of a number.
No, he loves a gesture of a number.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they see all of these windows and realize how easy it will be to see them. They also realize they're wearing bright-ass colors.
Yeah.
Like, bright-ass colors. I didn't have the clothes this time. I didn't list the clothes. If you want to tell me what they were wearing, list it. Are they slayed down boots, mama house?
Jill is wearing a vivid green robe, rather too long for her.
Ooh, Versace.
And over that, a scarlet mantle fringed with white fur.
Ooh, it's kind of Christmas.
It is. Scrub had scarlet stockings, a blue tunic and cloak, and a gold-hiked sword.
Ooh.
And a feathered bonnet.
Yes, a bonnet. I love that. Feather in your bonnet. Call it macaroni.
Feather in your bonnet, put it on it. But yeah, there wasn't anything to fit Puddleglum. So I'm not
Right,
quite...
because he's so tall. He's just still wearing the same earth tone Shrek outfit he was wearing before, but it's just really dirty and stinky now. Or potentially they washed it. They might have tried to wash it when they washed them.
I'm washing me in my
She
clothes,
drunk as fuck,
bitch.
He's probably so fucking thankful that he's in his gray clothes. He's probably making a switch to optimism right now because of this. He's like, well, look at that. Things are turning around in my favor.
I kind of figured he was like always...
I mean, he's optimistic
Like-
for Marshwiggle.
Oh, actually, I was going to say, I figured he was always like damp or moist, like
Oh.
froggish.
Yeah, he's probably slimy a little bit.
So maybe he doesn't really care
If it's got a little stink. He's probably always a little stink.
He's got a muddy
marsh.
flavor.
Yeah, muddy flavor, and he smokes that thick thick smoke. He smokes that thick. And
That
for all it's worth.
That thick ass marsh wiggle weed.
Yeah, that marsh weed.
This episode is sponsored by Marsh Wiggle Weed. Marsh Wiggle Weed, if it doesn't wiggle, smoke another joint. Enter code LOBSTER420
for 15% off your first purchase of Marsh Wiggle Weed. Get lower and higher than you've ever been before.
What was that noise?
It was supposed to be like a marshmallow song.
I loved it.
But he does give some good advice here. Like I said, he's taken a turn for the optimism. He says, just don't run, just keep walking, act casual. Like we've played it up good so far. They might just leave us alone and think we're on a walk. This is a quote: "The moment we look like people running away, we're done." Oh God, I was like chills down my spine.
I've been there.
Yeah, when you're somewhere you're not supposed to be and you're like, just act casual, but also if anybody sees us, we're fucked.
Yeah,
because there's no way out. So we just have to act casual and play it cool, and it'll be all bees and bonnets.
Of course, the
It's
distance is like way. It seems like it's way far away.
Right, and it's not nighttime, so they're trudging and trudging and trudging, and then they turn around, and because it's such a big building, it's like you're a stone's throw away, a giant stone, but you're half a mile away, and then they hear it, and Jill doesn't really know what she's hearing, but Puddleglum and Scrub are like, fuck.
Yeah. Eustace whispers, "Hunting horn." Puddleglum is like, "But don't even run now. Like, not till I say so."
Not till I say. And he'll give you a good time. He's still,
Yeah, then they're like half a mile away. And
yeah. But, oh God. And then, again, a chill down my spine. Because they're just walking. And then they hear some noises. And they don't turn around. But they hear Puddleglum's voice. They've seen us. Right. Oh, God. I heard it. Yeah.
I think of that moment in Silent Hill towards the end, spoilers, when all the nurses all of a sudden like jerk their heads around at her at the same time, and you're like, fuck.
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Puddleglum with his long frog legs is in front, and Jill with her too long green dress is pulling up the rear and just sprinting. But remember, this is like plateau, tableland. There's weird steps and holes and crags and rocks and shit. Oh my God, this is full horror story. And Puddleglum drops down in some sort of hole. It describes him as like looking like a spider, like when a spider crawls away into the crack on the ground. And Scrub, I see him like being all hero, and he runs and does like a baseball slide into the hole and disappears.
Did you mention their dogs chasing too?
Yeah, the hunting dogs too.
Barking.
So they've got regular ass dogs chasing them, which are what's faster, a regular sized dog running after you or a giant a half mile away? Like
None of it sounds great.
No, none of it is great. And Jill is a minute. It says that she gets to this hole a minute after Scrub. She was so far behind them. She does make it to the hole and drops in. Puddleglum says to start packing stones into the hole, because it's like, I don't know. This was a little hard for me to picture. Because I couldn't picture what type of hole it was. If it was a sliver between two stones, or if it was like a true crumbly hole.
Well, it said you had to fling yourself flat on your face and crawl in.
Yeah.
Which sounds awful.
Yeah.
It sounds like
on rocks.
Like, I don't have claustrophobia, but in this moment I did.
Also, this is that scene from The Hobbit when they're being chased. Spoilers for The Hobbit.
At the beginning, when they're under
when they're being chased by the orcs. And they are running, and then there's like that random rock outcropping, and Gandalf climbs into it, and then they all climb in. It's one of them. By the time the dogs get there, they were able to pack rocks into this hole so much that it basically blocked out any light. The dogs still smelled them, of course, and are digging at it. But they go to the back of the cave and they hold hands.
Yeah.
Jill says, like, right? Jill, she asks if they can hold hands.
And again, Eustace says, "Good idea."
Yeah, good idea. And it's like, oh, we don't want to lose each other. It's like, you guys are just scared. Oh,
It's so sweet.
They're bonding, all three.
And then I think, they stand up. And like, and
they're able to stand up, which is cool. It's not like a tiny, tiny cave.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like getting in there would be precarious, but the type of thing where it's like maybe the entryway is just itty bitty teeny tiny, but it seems to be relatively spacious once they actually get inside.
Not that they can see it.
Right, yeah. And Puddle Glum is just like, okay, well, the question is it better to go back and like be a treat for them, or like end up in like a hole if there's like a dragon or like something really terrible, like maybe you should just like save yourselves. And it's like, dude.
He did all this work and then he changes his mind. He's like, yeah, maybe it's better if we just get eaten, honestly, because this dark cave is fucked. There's no way it's not fucked down there.
Oh, completely. Well, then after that emotional escalation, there's another random escalation of just gravel noise and yelling.
He's walking and then all of a sudden he's like, save yourself! And he like starts to fall, but since they're all holding hands, they all tumble down, and Jill is at the top and she's like kicking rocks that are, she thinks, hitting them, and it's like this dark, awful tumble to nowhere.
Down deeper into the darkness and the earth.
Yeah, fucking no thanks. And there's this moment of silence before the other two started stirring, where Jill's thinking the worst. She thinks they're dead. She thinks she's alone. She feels something sticky on her head that they say is blood. And I feel like I don't remember there being a blood reference in these books before, but this is just an outright, like, she is got a head wound. She's bleeding from the head. And I was just like, this is so much more intense. And there's still only, I did look it up. Eustace is 9 during Dawn Treader, so he and I'm assuming Jill are only 10 now.
So Eustace was like 9
before? Throwing all those fits, and they were giving him all that shit. And he was a 9-year-old boy. We were also giving him shit, but I didn't know. I thought he was 10. I thought that it was like, or no, we thought he was 11.
Yeah.
Because we thought that Lucy was 10, which she still might have been.
Yeah.
And he might have been younger than both of them, like I think you thought at the beginning. Regardless, we're not talking about Dawn Treader. But Eustace was 9 then. He's only 10 now. Jill's a 10-year-old little girl in a deep, dark cave, bleeding from her head.
Thankfully, nobody has any broken bones, but actually totally skimmed past that. And I mean, it's like bruises, some blood, no broken bones. And then, of course, Puddle Glum has lost his tinderbox.
He just needed to add one more thing. He's like, oh, my matchbox is gone. My tinderbox.
And then Jill's like, I'm terribly thirsty.
Yes. Probably from all that dust that you didn't see but were inhaling when you were crumbling all that stuff.
And this part's sad because it's like, no one suggests anything because they're nothing can be done. And it's like they're so tired and they're all hurt and dinged up and bruised.
Sore.
And
there's no way you're getting back up that gravel hill.
No.
Not even you could climb it. You don't know if it's a wide spanning. There's nothing.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing to do. And then
long
silence until a voice came out of the darkness. A flat, pitch black voice. What make you here, creatures of the overworld? And we're going to end our episode there. Thank you so much for listening. No. We are going to end the chapter there, but a spooky. We're in a dark, scary cave. We're bleeding. A pitch black voice. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, not the voice of Aslan that they were hoping to hear when they're in the complete darkness.
Yeah, the bird tweeting for Aslan. It reminds me of when Lucy called for Aslan. In her head, she's just praying for him. And we get that moment of her. In this book, we are only told after the fact that they were all silently praying for Aslan. And yeah, instead of that, they get fucking the devil himself would make you hear creatures of the overworld.
Yeah.
Creatures of the overworld. So you know you're not fucking with anybody you're going to be familiar with.
Not excited about this, but that brings us to the next chapter.
Chapter 10. Travels without the sun.
Sounds like winter.
Yeah.
Our three travelers shout, excuse me?
And they get a response. I am the warden of the marches of Underland, and with me stand 100 Earthmen in arms. Yes, sir, Mr. Duffelped, sir. This is what I was like, okay, they're going to be like fun. They sound scary, but they're going to be like, ooh, silly fun times.
Mm-hmm.
He asks, like, how they came here. Why are you here? What the fuck is up?
Yeah.
They're like, we fell down here. And this becomes like you pull his string, and this is what he says. Many fall down, and few return to the sunlit realms. Okay, fuck. Few return. I hope that our three are some of those few. But he says this so much. Few return to the sun. Many fall down, and few return to the sunlit realms.
Like, what do you mean many fall down?
Yeah, how they like climbed into this tiny hole in the like. Why would many be falling down? And they never explain that. But they're immediately sent off to see the queen. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're here to get you. You need to come see the queen." And they're like, "Whoa, why?
Yeah.
Why do we
okay.
need to go see the queen?" Her will is not to be questioned, but obeyed. I don't like this place.
Yeah, I mean,
And they still can't see anything.
No, and then, like a soft explosion, and immediately a cold light gray with light blue in it. Okay.
And now they can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like right as he speaks of like the queen. He
Mhm.
speaks of the queen's will. It's like pow, and magic ball of light or some. It's like a cold, blue gray. What did you say?
A cold light gray with a little blue in it.
Ooh, a little blue.
Just
a
little
steel blue little.
A wisp. A wisp.
And it's not a Duffelpud situation. They are indeed many beings. They are all armed, but they all look different. It says like different horns. Some have got 3 horns. Some have got no horns. Some have got tails.
Yeah. Different sizes, but gnomes.
Yes, they're gnomes.
Gnomes.
So these are those creatures on the book here on my front cover.
Oh, with
And
the
this
long
is-
pointed nosies.
Yes, this is Eustace on the front cover, and I did look at my Dawn Treader cover, and Eustace does look like this. I was just confused because Prince Caspian looks so different on my Prince Caspian versus Dawn Treader, but this is Eustace on my cover in his blue with his red stockings and his little cap.
Oh, no one. Your cover is such a bummer. Yeah, and it's all of them are sad.
Yeah, they all have super sad faces. They don't look angry. They don't really look scary. They're just sad. And Jill looks around at all of them and then feels sad for them. And Puddle is excited. He's like, these guys could teach me a thing or two about how to hate life. I just started calling him Puddle in my notes. Just skip the glum gum. He's just Puddle.
Yeah, better than Glum. I mean, he's stoked on these dudes.
Yeah, he's like, these people hate life. I'm sure of it. They will get me straight. And the leader of the Earthmen tells them to get up. And they do. And he says, march. And they do. And they all start marching to the queen. And there's like the holder of the blue ball. It's like a staff with a blue ball, I guess. Or it's hanging. Or, I don't know. Something cool and kind of magical. But also spooky. He walks first. And now they can see how underground they are, which makes Jill freak out because she doesn't like being underground. She's a little claustrophobic. And I'm like, but you're in a huge cave.
It's a bit late for that.
Yeah, you're not like squeezed into a tiny little. I mean, you already did the squeezing, and now you're in a big cave. Like you're fine, and you can see now. I feel like it would be scarier to just be in the dark. They do come to a point where they have to like single file crawl in through a hole, and they like have to kind of crouch down, the bigger ones. And Jill's like, I'm done. I can't do it. I can't do it. This does remind me of a haunted house in my hometown where there was this little section of like a butcher shop and a little vent that they separated the people that would crawl through the hole and the people that would walk through the trail. And there were all these like hands and stuff in the tunnel, and it was so awful and scary, and I hate haunted houses because of that.
I hate haunted houses because taking my cortisol level to like the extremity is something that just happens to me on a daily basis. It doesn't sound like fun to have someone jump out and scream at me and like try to scare me.
Yeah.
Like that's not fun. I'd rather
pay for my fight or flight.
Yeah. Like it's 100% fun to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah, I remember you were in that haunted house once. Not once, you were in it for the whole run.
Well,
or whatever.
most of the run.
Yeah.
Some of the run.
But I didn't go. I was scared.
It was just mostly gross.
Yeah, it seemed more gross than a spook. So she doesn't want to go into this house of horror hole in the cave, but with the help of her friends.
I needed to write down and think how I felt on that cliff because there's something from that, and I just was like, I can't go past it without.
Yeah, right. Because that's what Eustace says when she being Jill, the only she we have in the story.
That's true.
The queen's dead, so there's only one she. He goes, think how I felt on that cliff, which is a little unfair because he wasn't really on the cliff until she was on the cliff. So, but also I guess she wouldn't be here unless he was here.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I didn't mean to riff on that. I just genuinely wanted to write it down.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't have a note on him saying that, and it is sweet. Like
it's one thing.
He's like, I was scared, and I came and saved you.
Yeah.
You know? Like I did it for you. You can do it for this.
Jill feels like she's being smothered.
It's giving Under the Tree from Pan's Labyrinth. It's gross, and they're crawling and like crouched, and it's wet, and there's probably bugs and gross.
At least it won't rain.
Yeah.
Pataglum was right, and a dim light gets brighter, and like the tunnel widens out, and they come out hot, dirty, and shaken. And the cave is so large that it doesn't really seem like a cave.
So you better not be fucking complaining anymore, Jill. It doesn't even feel like a cave. The author told us. They don't even need the orb anymore, because bioluminescence.
This episode is sponsored by bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence. Glowing everything and it's glowing. Mushrooms glowing. Mouse is glowing. Shit is glowing. Everything's glowing in the magical land. It's bioluminescence, baby. And I mean, of course, you're in a cave, you're going to have bioluminescent shit. Whether it's some silkworms, whether it's fucking bat guano. Like, there's always something glowing in a cave. And you're in a magical land, something's glowing. I'm just glad it's mushrooms and moss, personally.
It'd be cool if it was harmoniums, which are those creatures from Sirens of Titan, which no one read. Eustace asks the warden, like if the mushrooms grew down there.
I thought he was asking that in regards to the creatures that were lying there. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, no, you're correct. But yeah, they talk about the strange animals that were like dragonish bat kind of guys. Those
yes.
That is what he's talking
Which
about.
I've also got the illustration on the back. I don't remember if I brought it up at the beginning, but I've got them. They're a little horse-like, little dragon-like. It's kind of like a scaly, feathery, thestral.
Like the Titans or something?
Yeah. I'm not really there's also a little bat one on here, and another one in the back that looks like a red dinosaur.
Yeah.
They're definitely like sinewy, like svelte creatures. They're not big, muscular, scary creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he tells Scrub that all of these creatures have fallen down to the deep realm, never to return. But it is said that they will all wake at the end of the world. So we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah. I like the many come down and few return to sunlit lands.
Yeah, here it is again.
Like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, okay, cool, we get it. Like,
many come down and few return to the sunlit lands.
Like,
I think he just likes how it sounds, and I don't think that many people actually come down. So when they come down, he's really excited to say it. He's like, "Oh, this will be so spooky and fun." Many come down.
like in the labyrinth when they go past like the stone things,
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh, please let me say it. It's been such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yeah. Well, my favorite part about this is they're not even close to getting to where they need to go. They are several miles from where they need to be.
They've walked so far.
Mm-hmm. No wind, no birds,
No birds.
no sound of water.
No talking. They don't
No
talk.
talking. No talking.
After this weird conversation about him, they're like, okay, well, he's just gonna say that one thing over and over again. I'm not gonna say anything.
And this is when they walk for several miles, and they probably will walk for several more, 'cause they're walking in the darkness, where they walked before. Ba-da-da.
Anyway, they walk for miles
Several
without
miles.
talking through another smallish tunnel into a cathedral-sized cave. Wasn't she staying in a church-sized bedroom in the giant? What is with all this church size? Do we all just know? I guess they went to Catholic school, I'm sure, and whatever.
Well, I mean, if I say like it's about the size of a hospital,
That varies greatly.
it's about the size of a library.
It's about the size of a what is? Oh my God! What is it? How long is a piece of string? It's giving that. It's about the length of a piece of string.
Yeah, it's not quite a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
It's not quite a cheeseburger.
Inside this giant cathedral cheeseburger cave is
that-
a giant man cheeseburger cave.
Hey, everybody, we're Cathedral Cheeseburger.
That is good. And inside this cave is a giant man. It says that he's the length of the cave, so I don't really know how he got in the cave, but I don't think it really matters. But he's bigger than any of the giants that we've seen so far. But he's got a beautiful, noble face. He's giving Ghost of Christmas Present. Big ol' happy giant face.
With a snowy beard.
Yes, a snowy... Well, I guess Ghost of Christmas Present is like a big baby.
And he has a pure silver light resting upon him.
Yeah, like a spotlight from the stars. Just a spotlight from nowhere glowing on him.
Who is this man?
Yeah, Puddleglum speaks up and asks, who is it? Which is the first words we've heard in miles. Jill's like, I don't know how he had the courage to speak up after all
gall,
this time.
the gumption, the audacity, the clown,
The glam.
the noive.
He's given an answer. That is old Father Time, who once was a king in Overland. And now he has sunk down into the deep realm and lies dreaming of all the things that are done in the upper world. Many sink down, and few return to the sunlit lands. They say he will wake at the end of the world. So everybody's waking up at the end of the world, and everybody's falling down, and nobody's returning.
Is it like a party on the dance floor, or is it like party like it's 1999,
Party
or
on the
like,
dance floor.
or like let's get this party started?
I think that is probably what's that song? 4 minutes to save the world. I think it's one of them.
Is that Madonna?
4 minutes, pick up 4 minutes, pick it up.
That seems not right.
Madonna, gotta give me that. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, it is Madonna. Hey.
Yeah. So they're all gonna wake up with 4 minutes to save the world. That song's gonna come on. You only got 4 minutes to save the world, and they're gonna like burst out of the ground. It's gonna be Father Time and all of those weird creatures, and it's gonna be this. All right, notes for Greta. It's fine. If we see the end of the world, I'll come back to it, and we'll put in the song. Oh God. Anyway, they just move on after this.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
we should have.
Now they're so far down, it feels like you're suffocating just thinking about how far down you are.
Too many caves to count.
Cave, Father Time, another cave, rocks.
Another cave. Glowing mushrooms. Always down. Always onward. No sleep. No fear.
Cave.
And then they get to some sort of like underwater lake. Underwater ocean. Underwater
Yeah.
sea.
Underwater jetty.
Underwater man. Take me by the underwater land. Lead me to my hand. Wait, what?
Because it's dark. That's great. That's great.
And there's a boat waiting for them.
Of course.
A rowboat. It's not no sailboat because they're underwater, underground, and there's no wind. They get on. They start rowing. It's giving fucking River Styx Underworld. Like, they're on their journey. And
Yeah, Puddleglum makes the mistake
again,
of asking,
speaking up,
yeah,
dude.
has anyone ever, done this trip before? And then, of course, he gets the whole, like,
Many have taken ship at the pale beaches. And
yeah, no, I know. And few return to the sunlit lands. Like, you don't need to say it. You have, like, yeah, you just have one thought, right? Yep, that's it. That's all you got.
God. He's like, shut up. I get it. This
Just-
would have been such a good moment in the movie, though.
Oh, it would have been super.
When I was reading it, I kept getting these comical moments that would be so good in the movie that they were putting in the earlier movies that weren't in the books, and now they are in the books. But they weren't able to turn this into a blockbuster. I don't really get it. I feel like this one is blockbuster. This is Journey to the Center of the Earth. This is Mega Quest. This
Giants.
is Lost Prince. Like,
Magic.
it must. I think the real thing was budget. I think that there's the giants and the gnomes and all the shit that you see is too much CGI for them to handle, and nobody was doing practical effects in 2010. So
Do you have any idea how much gnomes cost?
no,
No, I don't know.
no, but no.
So we're on the River Styx. I mean, just, somewhere in this spooky,
Sunless sea.
somewhere on the dark water, fading into absolute blackness.
This is giving the darkness from Dawn Treader. Like, they can only see the boat that they're on from the light that is cast from the lantern. Like, it's described very similarly, and Jill is feeling a very similar sense of doom and anxiety.
Only.
But Puddleglum is here to cheer her up. He's like become such a big comfort for the kids. He's being so brave. He stood up to the Queen of the Green Kirtle. He stood up to these scary gnomes. Like, he could have given up. Most Marsh Wiggles would have. Most humans would have at this point. And he has stood in the face of all this and said, could be worse.
Right? Yeah, and like I think that's probably the best thing at this point, because Eustace isn't gonna do it, and he not only makes her feel better, he's like, no, like, we're doing things correctly, like, we're following.
Yeah, we're back on the path now.
Yeah, we're not, like, we're going under the ruined city, we're following the instructions, like, it's just gonna be okay.
Right. We may have missed the other ones, but we're back on the path.
And then they're of course given a en route snack.
Yes. Oh, would you like this order? I don't know what they eat.
Yes.
Put a note.
We have flat flabby cakes, or flat flabby cakes, and neither of them have any taste. It's just bacon
All right,
reminiscent.
I'll take 2 orders of the flat flabby cakes with a side of flat flabby.
Mhm.
Old cake.
Ooh, sorry, we're out of the fat flabby and the cakes.
Well, in that case, I'll just row.
Perfect.
And they do row for a long time.
Oh yeah, and then they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't think the kids are forced to row. I think the gnomes just row and they get to sit
Yeah.
and they fall asleep and they wake up and they feel as though it had always been this way and they had always been on the boat. It's like the darkness. It's when you're on the sailboat.
It's like flying to Australia.
Like, I feel like Lewis must have spent his share of time on a boat. Like, this is the second book in a row now where he's talking about that feeling of spending long times on a boat and feeling that I've been here forever. And then a light appears.
Of course.
Just how it always does. A light appears. But this light was another ship. And it just kind of like silently goes past them. And they make it seem like, oh, happy, oh, so cool. But I would be freaked the fuck out because
Yeah.
it's quiet. And then more and more ships. And they're approaching. They're like, oh, look, there's a city. And they're like getting excited, but it's quiet. And they can see that there's like hundreds of gnomes hustling and bustling around and passing each other on the streets and stuff. But they're not talking to each other. Like, how is this not so unsettling?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, of course, they're a little uncomfortable in the general sense of they don't know what's happening. But my heart would be like in my throat right now. Queer mention. It's a queer city. I take it back. I feel at home.
It is a queer city, but not an iconic queer travel destination.
No, this is not the travel destination.
Yeah, and everybody's just sad. And they're probably sad because they're all just going about their business, not looking or talking. Or
Yeah, just work.
smiling. Yeah.
Work, work, work. Capitalism.
Capital
Capitalism
WERK.
won. And once they're in the city, it's much the same. Lots of bodies moving around, no conversation. They say it's quiet as an anthill. Again, creepy as fuck. Not much other noise, except for the footsteps. They're brought into the castle. Soft footfalls, it says, like little padded little feeties. So cute.
Just a little more like. Why is your noise so much cuter than mine?
Mine was on my laptop.
Oh, okay. No, it's because you did it. It's okay. I'm fine with that.
They're brought. It was really like.
It was very that. It was very bird walking around.
They're finally brought somewhere into the castle, and they get like, wait here in the waiting room. And in one corner, they see it. Warm yellow light coming out of this doorway at the foot of some stairs. It's like, it reminds me of at the beginning when Jill's like, oh, Eustace was so boring looking, because everything was so technicolor all around. It's like the inverse of that. Everything has this gray, blue cast light on it. It's got the Twilight filter on it. And then it's like warm saturation, like warm fire torchlight is glowing. It's like,
Like a beam.
Yes, literally. And then it's, of course, stairs up. So you have all of that imagery, symbolism of stairs.
And the warden goes up to the two Earthmen and he says, kind of like it was a password.
Many sink down to the underworld.
And then the men answer back, and few return to the sunlit lands. Kind of like literally like it's
Speakeasy.
yeah, no, it's very much giving that. And then they all put their heads together and they talk. Because at first I was like, they put their heads together. I was thinking like how like
I thought it was like a ceremonial.
yeah, like the
thing at
Maoris
first,
like
too.
like greeting, which is way sweeter. But yeah, no, and I guess
They're like, we should put them in prison, and well, we gotta wait for the queen.
few return to the sunlit.
And then a voice from upstairs rings out. A human-sounding voice.
What's quietly keeping down there, Malagathrum? Overworlders, ha! Bring them to me, and that presently.
I don't understand. How does he know that they're overworld? Because I'm assuming that he answers, and this is just a Sluis writing thing. But like, you wouldn't know that they're overworlders from their silence. But he's very excited, has them brought up. But since we did get another character introduction, although it is the weirdest name, Mullugutherum, Mullugutherum, I decided to give it a go, see if I could try and get some name origin for this. And I think I found the line, the through line here. So we've got mull, M-U-L-L, Latin from the Middle English mullen or mollen, meaning grind to powder or soften by pulverizing. This one is where we've got to stretch the imagination a little bit. This is the name Gunther. Was the only thing I could find for that middle Guther, Uguth, like section. And it means bold in war or, gun means war, hard means strong, blah, blah, blah. And the is another one of those Latin declensions that we talked about with the US regarding the fawn. Earnest. And it meant like water boy, basically, or like pitcher boy. This is called a neuter singular ending. So the neutered noun is their genderless noun. So it's what you would use to describe like a thing. It's still a noun, but it's a thing, not a person. So it's neither male nor female, something inanimate. So
Like a tree.
Like a tree or a stone. And so this gnome is is a thing that will grind you to powder in a war.
Huh.
I think it's just, it's kind of like Drinian where it's a little more loose, but it's, he's hard, he's strong, he's going to grind you up. And I think that the Latin thing is on purpose because he could easily have been a Mulligatherus, but Mulligatharum because it's inanimate. I think he did that on purpose with gnomes being described later as earthmen. They're, one with the stones, like inanimate become animate.
After describing like all these sad looking bummer people, they get to this young man who has fair hair, so blonde, who's handsome and looks both bold and kind, though there was something about his face that didn't seem quite right. And it says that he's dressed in black and altogether looked a little bit like Hamlet. So when someone says Hamlet, what do you think of? Because I immediately go to Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet every time.
I mean, yeah, that's the one that's most in my head because I'm not the biggest Shakespearean.
What are you trying to say?
I didn't go to the Shakespeare Festival, and
Oh, okay.
also I did want to go with my theater group in high school, but I couldn't. My parents couldn't afford to pay for both the Shakespeare Festival and the Disneyland trip for band, so I had to choose. And obviously I was going to choose band because there was a performance involved, so I kind of had to be there.
And how is Disneyland not going to win?
Yeah.
Like, that's not even fair. There's no comparison, like, at all. But also, for the record, I saw one production of A Midsummer's Night's Dream in, August of 2004, and I did not enjoy it because they had one old puck and, 4 young pucks that did all
I remember you telling me this. That's so strange.
Like, this happened 20 fucking years ago, and I am still so mad about it.
You should be.
Anyway, also
back to Hamlet.
Yeah, no, all the 90s, the 90s movies, all the different renditions, 10 Things I Hate About You, What a Girl Wants, or maybe not What a Girl Wants, but definitely, no, that's the one, the soccer one. No.
She's the Man?
She's the Man, thank you. Anyway, doesn't matter. Ugly. So, Prince Charming says...
Literally, he's really giving Prince Charming.
Yeah, that's what I think of, just
I've seen you before.
But welcome, just welcome, I cry you mercy. The way he speaks is kind of more reminiscent of the way Fiona speaks at first when she meets Shrek, forsooth, just being all
the prince come to save the damsel.
And it turns out that this guy was the Black Knight.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen you before. And they're like, we've only seen 3 people, so you're the Black Knight?
Yeah,
yeah, dude, duh.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I always triumph, bitch.
I always triumph. And Eustace is like, well, your queen sent us to go fucking get eaten, so I don't know what's up with that. And he's like, I should fight you for that. That's fighting words. But since you're a child, I'll let it pass.
Which is, he says in a very fancy way, shut it the fuck up, kid.
Yeah, she's like, she would never do that. You must be mistaken. She's a nosegay of all virtues. Which I was like, whoa, what is a nosegay? So I looked it up. Nosgay, maybe pronounced N-O-H-S. N-O-H-Z, yeah, nosgay. It's a noun. It means a small bunch of flowers. So he's like, she's all bunch of little different types of virtues. She's got it all. She's got red and yellow and blue and green and turpin and yellow and orange and red and green and yellow and blue and orange and purple.
The virtues: truth, mercy, consistency, gentleness, courage, and the rest.
And the rest. She's got charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, bitch.
Right. Yeah, no, he's just like,
She's got it all.
she's got it all. Ooh, yeah. She's
And-
got it all.
He is asking what they're doing in the deep lands. And Jill just like blurts out the quest. Maybe she's just tired and like caught off guard by the warm lighting and the pretty boy.
She's held it in until now. She's done well.
She did. Although they haven't really talked to that many people except for the giants who they thought were going to eat them. But she's like, oh, we're here to save the Prince of Narnia, Rillian. Narnia? What
The fuck is that?
Yeah, what is Narnia? Like,
I've never heard that name before.
And since they didn't get struck down or anything, they decided to start sharing more information because Eustace immediately is like, well, we followed the sign, under me, and now we're under the city. And the Black Knight laughs, and he just kind of explains it away. Oh, you thought that was for you? Like, this is an ancient city, dude. That was much longer phrase. My lady told me. She remembers. And he lets them know what the phrase is because she remembers.
Though under earth and throneless now I be, yet while I lived, all earth was under me.
That is hard. It's good.
I'm thinking like, remember me under me.
Under me.
Uh,
And this reminds me of what you brought up in the last episode of Jadis having ruled over the giants in the north in the past, because the knight here says that it must have been some powerful giant ruler in the past who had this
great king.
Yeah, some great king. I think it was Jadis. I think that she had them carve this for her. Though under earth and throneless now I be, because she wanted the throne of Narnia. Yet while I lived, all earth was under me. And she fucking scooped the whole loop, and which is so, I don't think we'll ever get confirmation on this or whatever, but I, with all my head and the heart, believe that Jadis ruled Ruinous and that she had these words carved, which also just like doubles down on the fact that Aslan is using what remains of her verbiage for his quest. Just like a ha-ha, I beat you, and now I'm going to utilize something that you thought was for you, for me.
That was always all for me anyway. Like, you were never gonna win. And like, but the knight is just like, lol, like, that's just some bullshit left over. Like, is it not the merriest jest in the world that you should have thought they were written for you?
Right, he's like, you're so full of yourself that you thought that shit written thousands of years ago was for you.
What a great insult. Like, bitch, it's the merriest jest that you think that's written about you. I can't wait to start using that. Like, that's the merriest jest I've ever encountered.
Yeah, it's the olden version of, that's funny, because...
You're wrong.
Oh my god.
That's fun. Well, that's fine. Just bleep it out.
Yeah. Puddleglum, again to the rescue, reminding them that Aslan gave them this quest. Aslan gave them these signs. Aslan knows everything, and that if he said that this was the sign, then that's the sign. He doesn't give a shit what this knight says. He doesn't give a shit about the giants. Aslan knew that the giants existed. He knew that they carved that thing. He knew what was left over. He knows everything. If he says to go under the words and follow the words, he knew what words were there.
It's funny because, like, you know, when we first meet Puddleglum, it's kind of like, why, like, of all people, of all magical creatures, of anything in Narnia, were they brought to him?
Right, introduced to a new species of pessimists.
Yeah,
and
something
yeah,
we
they were
haven't
specific. They're like,
encountered.
oh, we're gonna bring you to Puddleglum, and he'll help you out.
Yeah, and it's
Who
like,
told you to do? Who told you to do that, Glimfeather? Who?
But this is why. It's because he has unshakable faith, and that is the difference between the Marshwiggles. And for me, like, this is really, like, I'm not disparaging anyone who doesn't have any spirituality they subscribe and like or whatever, you know, like if you don't have a religion, if you don't have a thing or something that gives you purpose and passion and meaning, it does not matter what it is. But in my head, I'm like, that would be what the Marshwiggles are. But Puddleglum is the one who you can't shake his Aslan mane off, you know, like he has that unshakable Aslan mane of faith.
Yeah, he just believes.
Anyway, I just
The will of Maya, as they call it in anime.
it's truly wonderful. And like, you know, the knight is still, I'm like, I don't know,
He's still trying to like, oh well, then your Aslan must be a long liver. It feels as though he is kind of poking fun.
yeah,
Like, oh, the subtext is like, well, he can't live that long.
yeah,
Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. There's no way he lived that long and knew what he's talking about.
right.
But Puddle hits him right back. Oh, well, your queen must be a long liver, too, if she remembers what it said when it was written. Oh, bitch. Then your hot queen must be an old fuck, too.
Got him. And then he says,
Yeah.
he says, very shrewd frog face, but instead of fisticuffs, he laughs.
Yes.
He says, you've hit the truth. She is of divine race and knows neither age nor death. I am more thankful to her in all her infinite bounty to such a poor mortal wretch as I. Patience? It goes far beyond that. She has promised me a great kingdom in Overland, and when I am king, her own most gracious hand in marriage. Weird phrasing, of course.
Yes.
Sorry, I lost my accent because... we've heard this before.
Yeah, we've heard this plot before.
Sans marriage, which is fine, because the first time we were talking about a child boy who was stuffing his face full of Turkish delight, but this time we're talking about a full-grown knight.
Yeah.
I assume.
24.
We just were talking about how old this lady is, and you're, like, waiting to marry her?
Yeah,
like,
he's like, oh, but she's going to marry me one day.
like, why is she is this like Kermit and Miss Piggy situation? Like, why, like, I don't understand, but,
and
like...
he says, oh, I'll tell you. But we're not going to do it standing up and fasting. We
Right.
sit down and feasting.
Yeah, and also, we're not gonna tell the story in this chapter. We're gonna end it.
Yeah, with the promise of a meal, just like Sluis loves.
This episode is brought to you by the promise of a meal. Just, I don't know, like 15 more minutes.
And we enter chapter 11. In the dark castle.
Guess what? That promised meal, it's happening.
It's happening, 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 it's happening. Ooh, we should make up a cow up. Yep. Yep.
Do you have a list of the food?
Mm-mm.
Today, on today's menu, we have pigeon pie, cold ham, salad, and cakes.
That's it.
Yep.
These English people really love a cold meat. We had cold turkey before, I think. Cold venison we've had now, even though that was awful and horrid. And I can't even believe I brought that back up. And now we've got cold ham. It's just, I don't eat meat now. But even when I did eat meat, I don't think I ever really ate cold meat except for like a Vienna sausage. And even then, I would usually heat it up on the engine block of the Jeep and then eat them once they were warmed up. But speaking of cold meat, my boyfriend just had some today. We were at a little food cart pod and he got some sort of chicken something. So it was hot rice, cold chicken.
Hot rice, cold chicken.
Although it kind of looked like duck because the skin fat layer was a lot thicker than...
It looked like a duck.
Yeah, and it quacked like a duck too. There was feathers in the skin.
No. I was trying not to do Miss Swan because it's just my generation is broken. Anyway, you must understand, friends, that I know nothing of who I was and whence I came into this dark world. I remember no time when I was not dwelling as now. Why am I going into David Attenborough?
Prince Charming. Prince Charming.
Prince Charming. I remember no time when I was not dwelling as now at the court of this all but heavenly queen. My thought is that she saved me from some evil enchantment and brought me hither of her exceeding bounty.
So his thought is that she must have saved him from some evil curse.
Yeah.
She didn't tell him that she saved him. She didn't tell him shit. He's just like, well, I'm here. So she probably saved me, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of logic is that?
You didn't, ask?
Well, but he says he finds it likely that this is the case because he's still under another enchantment, which he proceeds to tell them.
And this seems to me the likelier because even now I am bound by a spell, from which my lady alone can free me. Every night there comes an hour when my mind is most horribly changed. After my mind, my body.
Ooh.
For first I become furious and wild and would rush upon my dearest friends and kill them if I were not bound.
A werewolf.
And soon after that, I turn into the likeliness of a great serpent, hungry, fierce, and deadly. And
He says, so they tell me.
Yeah.
And they certainly speak the truth, for my lady says the same.
yeah, this is all just circumstance, and he's just yep.
And he doesn't remember the change happening, but
No.
supposedly it happens. They tell him it happens. So he's just kind of trusting these people because she promised him that he would be crowned king in the overworld and that would break the enchantment. So she's like, you've got this curse, but don't worry, I'm prepping this thing. Once I crown you king, it'll break the enchantment, and then you'll be safe, and I'll have saved you, and then you can marry me.
Don't date people. Date people for who they are, not based on the potential of who they could become.
Yes, don't date people on the promises of the future.
Don't date people on the promises of the future. Be realistic, you stupid enchanted bitch. And so every night, he goes under spooky times, snaky boy, so naturally they gotta kind of do something to prevent him from going snake shit.
Right. And they tie him down. That's they just tie him down for an hour and then they're fine.
How do you tie a snake?
I don't really understand that.
It's just in
but
my
maybe
head.
if they tie him to the chair, he doesn't turn into the snake. I think that's kind of what they get at later.
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of what they hint at. But as we know, Lewis loves a very loose magic system.
Like a snake tied up by a slippery
string. He does say the land that he is going to be king of has already been chosen, and the very place is almost ready. The Earthmen have worked day and night, and they've been digging a tunnel toward this place where he will be crowned, and they've gotten so far and so high that the tunnel is not a score of feet beneath the very grass on which the updwellers of that country walk.
How far down are they? This is
And they've dug all the way the fuck up there. She herself is at the diggings tonight, and I expect a message to go to her. And so, that's why she's not there. This is almost exactly the plot of The Princess and the Goblin, where the goblins dig up, and they want to overthrow the overworlders.
So that's a fun little ditty. It's okay, so it's almost snake time, but this wonderful lady isn't gonna be back for snake time. So if it's almost snake time, maybe they should,
leave.
Yeah, it seems like it wouldn't be a great idea. But before we even get to the whole rational concept of leaving the room before it's snake time, thankfully nobody is stoked about the idea of them getting through to the other side and taking over the overworld, which I'm assuming they're still in Narnia.
Yeah, it's
They can't have gone that far.
it's a little heavy-handed here, but also not. It's just right there where I was reading it, and of course I knew what was happening, but my heart started
Wait, their world is flat.
It still goes down. They could just maybe dig.
Would it just go down forever then?
No, it's gotta have a bottom.
flat earthers call in and
It's just-
tell us where the bottom is.
It's just really, really, really deep. It's like a deep dish Chicago. Narnia is a deep dish Chicago style pizza.
I kind of prefer my world's like New York style,
Yeah,
but you know
nice
what?
thin crust.
It's, I didn't I didn't roar this world into existence. So the knight is boasting about taking over presumably Narnia. Jill is just like, fuck you, dude, you're a wicked tyrant. Like none
Yeah,
of this
that's
is
a shitty thing to do. You
like-
can't just sneak in and take over a whole country.
And he's laughing, and she's like, it's not funny at all. And the knight's just laughing like, oh, where's our little Miss Politician? Like
I
pit.
wanted to punch him in the face.
I frequently want to punch knights in the face. I run into knights all the time.
And he's like, well, if you want to stay, regardless, go to my quarters because the gnomes are going to come and they're going to tie me up soon. The kids are worried. They express their concern because the gnomes were going to put them in prison. He goes, okay, we'll just go in my room and you can either stay there until it's over or you can come back out and we can kiki and you can chit chat. But the gnomes won't bug you in there. And so they go inside and they're finally able to wash up after all of these miles and miles and miles of walking.
Oh, and the boat.
Yeah, and the boat and the sliding. She's probably got dried blood on her face.
And there's no way to know how much time has passed.
No. And I think it kind of hits them at this point because Jill brings it up. She's like, wait, he didn't even let us wash up before dinner. Like, what the fuck? This guy sucks. And they're like, she goes, I don't want to go back out there. I don't
Yeah.
like him. I don't need to see him going all wild. I don't need to see that. And Puddle is like, we should go.
Yeah.
Puddle convinces them, we need to go see it. We're on an adventure. We need information. We're on the right track. We need to go get the information. But we need to promise not to untie him no matter what he says. Puddle gets the feeling this guy's going to be sneaky, slippery, snaky.
Right.
They walk back in to find the knight, and he's still like, he's got his mind about him. He's like thankful that they came to keep him company. He kind of comes to. It almost seems like he passed out, and then he like, he's groaning and like,
Yeah, and he looks nicer than he did before. And then
right,
he's
even
just-
though he seems in pain, he seems nice.
And he's just like, yeah, he's just groaning, going, enchantments, the heavy, tangled, cold, clammy web of evil magic, buried alive, dragged down under the earth, down into the sooty blackness. How many years? How many years have I lived? 1,000 years in the pit. Oh, have mercy, let me out.
And he sees them as he's flailing around, just doing all this shit. He kind of like snaps onto them.
Quick, I am sane now. Every night I am sane. If only I could get out of this enchanted chair, it would last. I should be a man again. But every night they bind me, and every so night my chance is gone. But you are not my enemies. I am not your prisoner. Quick, cut these cords. Unchain my claws.
I probably would have let him go as soon as he turned on this queen, because I don't fucking like the queen.
Yeah, and he's just like, please, like, he's like, did they tell you that if you let me go, I'll become a serpent? Because, like, it seemed like,
And then, yeah, based on their face.
yeah, it's like, it's a lie. Like, you know.
I'm not going to become a serpent, I promise. And
I'm
he's like,
totally
please,
sane.
like, this is the one night that she's not here. Like, this is the chance of all chances. She's not here. You are here. Please, please, like, what?
Yeah, I'm lucid. Let's do it.
And he starts shrieking to let him go, to give him his sword. He screams for his revenge. He says, I'll revenge on the Earthmen. They will regret this. They'll rue the day. And he then warns them that he did get out one time, but the witch had stopped him. And that if he gets out and they don't free him, they will be mortal enemies. He gives them this ultimatum. He's like, free me right now and we'll stay chill. We'll be friends. If you do not let me go right now, we will be mortal enemies.
It's like I'm back at work.
Free me right now or I'll hate you forever. And
And
he's
it's
just ranting, pleading, like he's breaking down. And Puddleglum says steady, and Jill, they all go around and they all say steady as if to steady each other and steady themselves. And he's like, how cold-hearted you are. Like you don't even know me and I'm suffering here and you're not saving me. They hate this, but there might be information here, and they already broke their last promise of not telling anybody their quest, and they remade this promise, and so they're sticking to it. And yeah, he's just fully like breaking down.
once and for all, I adjure you to set me free. By all fears and all loves, by the bright skies of Overland, by the great lion, by Aslan himself, I charge you.
And now they have to decide. Is he lying? Is this the fourth sign? Is this real? Is this a dream? Is this the Matrix?
Right? And honestly, once again, Puddleglum, like our tried and true fearless Aslan follower, says that Aslan didn't tell Jill what would happen. He just told her what to do. And that if he gets up, he's going to kill them. So I don't really want to do it. But also, that doesn't let us off of following the sign that we were given.
Right.
So it's still kind of like,
Yeah, Puddleglum's like, we know what we should do.
Yeah.
We should follow the word of Aslan.
yeah, he could kill us, but we have to do it.
And in the name of Aslan, they cut the ropes. And as soon as they cut them, the knight jumps up, he grabs his sword, and he immediately destroys the silver chair. He just like hacks it to pieces. This part kind of was giving, they don't describe it like this, but for me it was like when Ron kills the Horcrux. Like for half a second, there's still that fear. He runs and he grabs the sword and he's swinging it, and they're still all standing around the chair. So there's probably some like, oh fuck, we made a mistake, and then he destroys the chair.
Yeah.
And the silver gave way before its edge like string, and in a moment, a few twisted fragments shining on the floor were all that was left. But as the chair broke, there came from it a bright flash, a sound like small thunder, and for one moment, a loathsome smell. So it also dies like a Horcrux.
I wondered about that. Like, yeah, that would
What
make
type
sense.
of magic was in this chair?
Well, what type of creature usually smells like death? Demons. This is
And then the knight turns around and is like surprised to see a Marshwiggle here. He goes, oh, a Marshwiggle, a true Narnian Marshwiggle. And they're like, you know what Narnia is now? You just told us you didn't know what Narnia was.
have I forgotten I was under a spell? Like,
He's
literally, like,
oh, I must have forgotten. I
like-
was under an enchantment.
yeah, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes
Yeah.
everything that I just told you, because it turns out not only do I know about Narnia, I'm motherfucking Prince Rillian.
Caspian's my dad, dude.
Oh, King Caspian? That's my dad.
I know him.
My dad is King Caspian.
We get introductions all round, and the first thing he asks about is his father. He's like, is my father well? Is he okay? Puddleglum tells him that the king has set sail for the utter east, and we're not really sure if he's going to come back. And he takes it in stride, and they just kind of move on. He's like a real true prince. And they do kind of gloss it over. We found the prince.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was the sign. The first person to ask you to do something in Aslan's name will be the prince. And so,
10
Here it is.
years.
10 years. Yeah, he's like, so how long has it been? And he gets his 10 years, which is,
A decade under the influence.
yeah, which is a long time, but he is still alive, and his father is still alive, and like, it's not 10,000 years. Not everybody he knows is dead, and she's kept him alive in some weird cryo sleep or something, you know?
And he has all the confidence of a prince, you know?
Yeah, he's like, let's do this.
He's like,
all right.
I'm going to fool those Earthmen, like, if Aslan gives me the wit.
I like this. He kind of goes, it's like his train of thought his brain is still starting up, because he tells Eustace, he's like, Eustace, lock the door, and then you guys are gonna run. No, wait, stay. No, wait, better idea. I'm gonna lie to them. And then he flings open the door. He's like, lock that door. Wait, no, leave. No, stay, no.
And it's like, you stay in the room and don't let anyone come in or out.
Don't leave anyone in the room except for you.
Where are you going? I thought we're following you.
And yeah, he flings open the door and walks right into the next chapter. Chapter 12. The Queen of Underland. I think it is Underland.
I mean,
Pronounced like a country, then it's a little more like a little pun, a little fun, a little hun.
Underland, London,
London
Land.
London World.
This episode is sponsored by London Land. London Land, when London World is just too moist. I hated
Well, yeah, because London World's in Florida, so
Yeah.
you gotta go to London Land in California.
Fling open the door, and of course, it's the last person anyone wants to see.
Right. The gnomes open the door, and they're like ready to do the gnome thing, and then they bow, and in walks the lady of the green kirtle / the queen of the Underland / maybe Jadis. We're still not sure yet, because I still had high hopes that it was Jadis. I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is. We don't know who it is, but it's not Jadis, but I want it to be Jadis because in the movies they kept trying to bring her back they kept trying to bring her back in more of a full way than the books ever did, with the green mist, and even in Prince Caspian with that ice wall where her hand and everything. Like in the book it's just kind of they might bring her back and then they don't bring her back. This is like, ooh, the White Witch. She's like the big bad of the movies. So I just wanted this to be her, which it basically is, but it's not. So in walks the queen, and she like goes really pale, and Jill notices that this is an angry sort of pale, not like a scared, not anything. Like she knows this lady is mad. And then she kind of changes her mind and pivots. And so I'm like, okay, so she's going to like go with this or whatever. She tells the Earthmen to leave, no one to disturb them till she calls on pain of death. And then she kind of, I assume, kind of puts on the, and she goes, how now, my lord prince? Has your knightly fit not yet come upon you? Or is it over so soon? Why stand you here unbound? Who are these aliens? And is it they who have destroyed the chair which was your only safety? Prince Brilliant is shook.
Yeah.
He's like, this lady. And it says, yeah, it's not so easy to throw off an enchantment of 10 years.
Yeah.
Like she controlled his every movement, every idea.
I figured it's like running into an ex that broke your heart, like when not enough time has passed and you didn't know you were going to see them. Like that's kind of just like, ugh. But classic Prince.
He doesn't play along at all. She kind of gives him the chance to lie to her and pretend like he's still under her spell. And he just tells her that he knows who he is. And he just kind of asks to go home. He's like, I know that I'm the Prince of Narnia and it's my right and you can't trick me anymore. So I'm going to go now, please.
Yeah, he really hits with like, I'm going to do whatever I want. Please.
Like, what the fuck?
Please, please it you to grant me and my friends safe conduct and a guide through your dark realm.
And a guide? You're asking for a guide? I think that she already knew this enchantment was broken. She may have like felt it since she cast the enchantment, or she had some sort of secondary enchantment that would let her know. I think that this is why she comes back so quick. She's able to be there in a second after the enchantment is broken.
Yeah.
Like, she knows.
Well, I mean, like, Voldy knows.
Yeah.
Like, he feels it. So it has to be that thing. And I guess since that's the only one, is probably like...
Yeah. And she just kind of walks around, hella chilled at the fireplace, and just nonchalantly tosses some green powder into it.
As you do.
And it starts smoking. It smells really nice. And she
Yeah.
starts playing some music on a little. What is she playing?
It's a musical instrument, rather like a mandolin.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was stringed because it says thrum, thrum, thrum later on.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, get the fuck out. This is so obviously a spell. This is so obviously a spell.
Oh, of course.
Also reminds me of the spell that Tumnus casts on Lucy in the movie, which he doesn't cast on her in the book. But with the fire and the sweet smells, and he's playing his little flute.
And it does mention the smell has a drowsy effect.
Yes, and he was doing that on behalf of the White Witch. He was bewitching her on behalf of the witch. Maybe she gave him a little of her own powder and said, put this in the fire and she'll fall asleep. Play some music. But this doesn't really work as a sleeping spell. This is like the gaslight Lucy juice. Because she just starts to gaslight the fuck out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said, I know Narnia. I'm the Prince of Narnia. And she says, oh, there is no Narnia. There's no overworld. No princes or kings. And then they kind of pivot. Like they're fighting and she pivots. And they're like, oh, well, yes, you are a queen in Imagination Land. They're like, no. I'm the Prince of Narnia. I am the Prince of Narnia.
Mm-hmm. And Puddleglum is like, no, there isn't Narnia. I've lived there my whole life, and like
He cannot make Puddleglum forget.
No, he's like, I don't. It's up there, like somewhere. I don't really know where it is, and she's just like, like there's a country up there amongst the stones on the roof.
Yeah, on the roof. And Jill feels the enchantment working on her. It seems like she asks a specific question or asks about a topic, and that assists in erasing their memories of that specific thing. Like they bring up Earth. Jill's like, oh, well, I come from a different place. I know about Narnia, but I also know about this other place. And she's like, oh, sure, okay, and convinces them that it's not real. Jill goes, oh no, I suppose that other world must all be a dream. Yes, it is all a dream. And then, yeah, they just kind of repeat, like they're fully hypnotized. There was never such a world. There was never any world but mine. Puddleglum can't make him forget, and it kind of breaks the spell on the rest, really, and is like, yes, the Marshwiggle, he has the blessing of Aslan upon him. So, Puddleglum, he says, oh, I remember seeing Narnia, my Marsh, Aslan. I've seen him in the midday sun when he's, I've seen him, like, in the midday sky, so bright, blah, 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 blah. So he's kind of like, is Aslan the sun? Like, he is the sun. He rides the sun like a chariot. He's kind of like Helios. He's kind of Apollo. He's Jesus. I don't know. I liked it. I liked the sun and Aslan and light.
Yeah.
But this gaslight powder and the musical instrument is still in effect because just as quickly as Puddleglum is able to break them out of this spell, they kind of fall back under. And she gaslights them all the same way that she did that with the world, that there's no sun. She's like, well, how does the sun work? Well, where does it hang from? Like, is it like a ceiling light? Like, where does it plug in? Where's the outlet, bro? And they can't answer, and basically they're all fucked. And then Jill remembers, there's Aslan. Like, we already brought up Aslan. What are you talking about? And the witch uses this logic of borrowing things from, quote, her world. The sun, you said it was like a lamp, and you said this thing was like another thing. It's literally like Gaslight 101.
It's like in The Wizard of Oz with the poppies, she just wants them to just dull them with questions that they can't answer and get them to sleep.
And Puddleglum has one final attempt. He walks over to the fire that is oozing this sleepy fire smoke, and he stamps on it, causing some of the fire to go out, as well as burning his foot.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a multi-purpose. He's doing something drastic, which could potentially break them out in general. He is putting out some of the fire, causing less smoke to be created. He is causing pain on himself, which could also help him break out of the enchantment, as well as we're told the smell of his burning foot muddled with the enchanting smell and made it not so enchanting, because who wants to smell muddy, burnt marshwiggle flesh?
Yeah,
Not me.
Not me.
Not you. Not Hermione.
And like it's unfortunately very painful, but the pain is clarifying and brings Puddleglum back to a place of, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, clarity.
Yeah.
He's fully in it now. He's not gonna be pushed under her spell anymore. And I do have a bit of a long quote here. He says, "So I won't deny any of what you said, but there's one more thing to be said. Even so, suppose we have only dreamed or made up all of those things, trees and grass, sun and moon and stars, and Aslan himself, suppose we have. Then all I can say is, in that case, the made-up things seem a good deal more important than the real ones. I'm gonna stand by the play world. I'm on Aslan's side, even if there isn't any Aslan to lead it. I'm going to live as like a Narnian as I can, even if there isn't any Narnia. So, thanking you kindly for our supper, if these two gentlemen and the young lady are ready, we're leaving your court at once and setting out in the dark to spend our lives looking for Overland." He's like, I'm fucking out of here. I don't give a shit. I'm out. I would rather bet on somebody that I don't even know exists rather than hang the fuck around you.
Which is so brilliant.
So badass, Puddle.
Yeah, you can bet on it.
Bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, bet on me.
Bet on Aslan.
And quicker than Sluis can write, the witch turns into a huge green snake, wraps around the prince's leg and chest, and he grabs the face, and he still has his sword arm ready to swing. It's like, it literally is just like, we're fighting. From zero
To snake.
to snake.
It also,
gotcha.
The way it describes the instrument dropping to the ground, I just picture her arms being like,
Yeah, they just kind of like shrink into her body and
like terrifying. But like,
and as every Narnian fight goes, this one goes very quickly.
yeah. I mean, at this point, he's been out of the enchantment for, well, the first couple series of enchantments, so that by the time he had this clarity, like, he's
ready now.
Yeah, he
He slips his arm out,
gets him in the clear.
and as Rillian swings down, Eustace and Puddle also bring their swords in and swing at the snake. It's a triple attack, and it doesn't like kill her right away, but it
Eustace
loosens.
misses.
Yeah, Eustace again, which I feel like is a bit of a callback to Dawn Treader when he runs up and he tries to attack the sea serpent by chopping its body, because Rillian and Puddle both hit the neck and he only hits the body. But she kind of lets go and they're able to get the upper hand and hack off the snake's head with a couple of blows. So, by which, I guess, Rillian says he's glad she turned into a snake at the end, because as well as proving that she was the slayer of his mother, he didn't have to kill the pretty lady. He just had to kill a big snake. Which is valid, but also you can't kill a lady just because she's a lady. She's trying to kill you. Like, it doesn't matter. She's an evil witch.
Yeah, this is not
Edmund fought her hot lady just as a hot lady. She didn't have to turn into a snake or nothing. No. Chicken!
I mean, and that's
literally, they just kind of end the chapter. The witch is dead. Ding dong.
I think the nice thing about the wrap up is they just do a cute little tie-in, because at the beginning when Jill meets Aslan, she's like, "Who am I?" And then at the end, she's just kind of like, "Hey, like, I'm okay." And like Prince Rillian tells her, like, "You are of high courage, and therefore you probably come of noble blood." And I feel like this is the extension of him being like, "No, like you belong somebody here." Yeah, like you like we need you. Yeah. So
it's not a full circle for Jill, but it is her arc on the up of her realizing that she is important, and not because of some grandiose thing, but just because she is Jill.
yeah.
And we now enter chapter 13, Lucky 13.
Underland
without the queen.
Prince Rillian pierced the serpent's torso.
Prince Rillian pierced the purple. Oh, it's green. Prince Rillian pierced the pure.
Vermilion.
Only that's giving slam poetry. Prince Rillian pierced the green vermilion. Serpent, snake, slime, sweet prince, cake. Take my hand.
Wait, get a candle, get a candle.
Take my hand. Disappear to a glove.
You far from near, though I don't know you and you don't know me.
So yes, Underland without the queen. Scrub calls for a breather. He's like, can we take a second? That was way too much for me. And they've got all the time in the world, because the queen was like,
Yeah.
lock
Ding
the
dong.
doors. Don't open this door unless I tell you. So nobody's coming.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's gonna do shit for they've got all the time.
No.
All the time.
Nobody, none of the munchkins saw the house fall. Nobody knows about the ding dong bing bong, the witch is dead. They're just vibing, and it's like,
Let's tend to Puddleglum's foot. Let's take this salad dressing and oil and put it on your foot, because salad dressing and oil, tried and true method of, I think it's just hydrating, right?
well, oil on a burn?
Yeah,
Like,
coconut oil on a burn.
or like, I mean,
But the salad dressing, that's what I don't get. The oil, sure. Unless it's an oil-based salad
it says
dressing.
salad oil off the
Okay,
table,
okay,
and
never
that
mind,
made a
never
fairly
mind.
good dressing.
Okay. I
think they mean-
I just didn't have good reading comprehension. It's fine.
I think they
salad
can-
oil, yeah. Like oil and vinegar, probably. Make a vinaigrette.
Yeah, no, I think that was. It's because they're talking about like the strips of the fabric, plus that
Right.
made a good dressing, as in
Dressing.
like a medical
Mhm,
dressing. But
yes.
he's talking about salad.
Yeah, salad oil dressing.
Fucking Slewis.
It's fine. It was a different time.
Yeah, but then they, it was like, I mean, let's have a little freshman little chat about how we gonna get out of here.
The prince goes over, because luckily he remembers everything that happened when he was the knight.
Oh, good.
Like, thank God. So he knows all the exits. He knows all the secret passageways. Unfortunately, all of the exits that he knows about are on the other side of the sunless sea. So they would have to walk all the way out of the kingdom, get on the boat, go across, but this new exit that is almost finished is on this side of the sea, because she wanted to be able to have her army go through, and that's only a few miles away. So we've got our destination, but something is happening. I said something is always happening with these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, something is always happening to these kids. They're
All
always
around.
looking out a window, and like something is happening. The giants are throwing rocks.
Mhm.
Fucking
Maybe they should stop tapping on the glass.
yes, waving through a window. And they see a red glow far away, illuminating the cave. And they see the city skyline, and they see that all the gnomes are, it's crowded with gnomes like normal. But they also hear them. They hear shouting, and they hear running, and they hear all this noise, and they're like kind of hiding in the shadows that's cast by this red glow. Like, we don't know what's going on. It seems like there's chaos down in the village. There's something going on further away. Puddle thinks that the underground volcanoes are opening, and then he pivots. He goes, oh, it must be worse. This witch must have put a curse on the land, and it's destroying itself upon her death. To which Rillian agrees.
I mean, that's a good curse.
Yeah, he's like, she would do that. I don't know that she did do that, but she would do that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it looks like that's probably what's happening, so we should get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But first, He's like, but we have to go save my horse first, and the witch's horse,
Yay.
because it didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, this is not never-ending story.
No, we've got to go save Coal Black and Snowflake.
So cute.
Rillian refuses to put back on his armor. He said that was basically a portable jail that she put me in.
Yeah.
I'm not going back in that thing. But I'll go get the shield. That shield will be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes back to his little room and he gets the shield, but comes back and it had changed. An hour ago, it was black and without device. Which device, for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know, is like without a icon, without banner. Like it was just plain black. Of no house. Now, the shield had turned bright as silver, and on it redder than blood or cherries. Fucking cherries. Was the figure of a lion.
Doubtless. This signifies that Aslan will be our good lord, whether he means us to live or die.
Beautiful. They all shake hands. Rillian's like, we should all shake hands, and like, we might be about to die. Let's, what's the word? Clear our conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Eustace and Jill exchange apologies, and they use their first names.
Yeah.
She says, I think Eustace apologizes first. And he goes, Jill, I'm so sorry for how I behaved. I was awful. And she's like, Eustace, I was totally rotten, up on that cliff. And blah, blah, blah. So cute. And it's the first time I think that they've probably ever called them by their first names. Because it says Christian names.
Yeah.
But
Well, they didn't do it at school.
yeah,
and-
you don't call by first names at school. It's last names only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Jill says, sorry, I've been such a pig. And I love, Eustace says, sorry, I've been a funk and so ratty.
Yeah. I've been a funk bitch.
Not I've been in a funk. Like,
Yeah,
I've been
a funk.
I am the funk.
I am the funk.
Uh,
I am the funk.
give up the funk.
Give up the funk.
Give up the funk.
Give up that funk. Funk, funk, funk.
This is why our episodes are so
Yeah,
long. Because
literally.
we're
I was just
enjoying
thinking
our
that.
Well, if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
They're headed to the stables. And they only see one gnome who's like in the dining hall or whatever, and it runs away from them.
Oh, the piggy? A fat white creature with a very pig-like face who was gobbling up the remains of food on the tables and squealed. The squeal was also very like a pig, and yeah, darted under a bench, whisking its long tail out of Puddleham's reach just in the nick of time.
They're running from them now.
Yeah.
But they arrive to the stables. Basically, nothing has happened. They've seen some gnomes running around in
Yeah.
the shadows, kind of looking like they're in formation, but they're not really sure what's going on. They arrive at the stables. Some fireworks are going off, and they're like, it's probably a signal. They're probably calling people there or something. We don't know. We don't care. We're on the fucking way out. Jill just walks right into the stables with Rillian to calm the horses. No fear, no nothing, because she went to like riding school when she was younger.
Of course she's a horse
Of
girl.
course, yes.
Jill? That's a horse girl name.
So she walks in. She's able to calm down Snowflake as Rillian calms Coal Black. And they hop right on. The prince on Coal Black with Eustace, Jill on Snowflake with Puddle. And they go towards the glowing red light, but a little bit to the left. Because he knows where they're going. Nobody else knows where anything is, but he remembers. And he is having a blast. He's just like out of the enchantment. He's in his own skin. He's able to do whatever he wants. So he's whistling. He's singing about Corin Thunderfist of Arkenland, who I know we meet in the next book.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I know we meet him. I don't remember. But I know we meet him, and I know I will probably remember once we meet him.
I remember how.
But I'm excited to see his thunder fists. Pow, pow.
Yeah, no, he is having Prince Rillian is having a wonderful time. He's just giving a whole speech, but mostly the most important message he gives to them is courage. He's, yeah, definitely having a great time, and the rest just find it a little bit eerie, but I think it's just because the clashing and the rumbling of collapsing buildings and things, it's just, there's a lot of kerfuffling happening right now.
Also, a flood is happening.
Oh, right.
So not only is the world potentially opening up in the pits of hell and like lava pouring out, there's also a flood behind them, so they're climbing uphill and it's coming in kind of quick. They're like, oh, there's a boat. And then the boat is like, oh, it's coming at that building, but there's nobody on it. Why is that? It's giving, what is it, The Day the Earth Stood Still? When the water comes all into New York City.
New York City.
They basically just travel on. They chase off some little groups if they get too close, and it's relatively easy. And once they're high enough that they don't think they have to worry about the flood anymore, Puddleglum suggested that, this is like the first time they really spoken. They've just been quiet and going and quick and He's like, I think they were trying to cut us off before the high ground. And Rillian agrees. And they've kind of got this like back and forth where Puddle, it's like, are they setting him up to be the advisor of the king? Like, he's got this really nice strategic brain for being such a pessimist. And they decide to catch one of these gnomes and question them now that they've got the uphill advantage. So they go into this little dark spot, and Puddleglum slips off and sneaks up like against the wall, and the two horses continue on. So that the gnomes, they've been like following the group, but not too close, but kind of close. One crawls into this kind of dark alleyway, and since Puddleglum's got such long arms and legs, I'm assuming he just kind of like wraps his body around him. Yeah. Like he's just rope. He just kind of like wraps around it. And it works. It just kind of happens. Easy peasy. The gnome sounds kind of cute. Mm-hmm. The rooster head horn thing, not so cute, I guess. But he's got little pink eyes, and his like lips and face and cheeks are kind of puffy, and it says he looks like a pygmy hippopotamus with little pink eyes, and he's only like 3 feet tall, and he goes, I didn't do it.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
They're like, what didn't you do? Whatever you're about to say, I didn't do it. Oh, my heart. I think he might switch to my favorite character.
Yeah.
And they kind of exchange information, and upon hearing that the queen is dead and that Rillian did it, he gets all excited, and that's Ding Dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I?
We fell from the stars.
He's like, we're friends then. If you killed her, then we're friends. Let's tell a story.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Wicked witch.
Now she's dead.
Chapter 14.
The bottom of the world.
We've got another story time, but this story is from Golg, which I didn't do a name origin, but Golem, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Would you believe that I looked it up?
The name origin for Golg?
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
What is it?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I did not look it up.
Here, let me just look it up right now. Gol means feast or fair, vigil, wake, watch. Probably borrowed from the Old Church Slavic gol, naked. Ultimately from the Proto-Indo-European naked, bald. Okay.
What's the
Naked, bald, like Earthman, sure.
What's the scientific name for hippopotamus, just out of curiosity? Not that I mean, it probably has, like...
The scientific name for hippopotamus is Hippopotamus amphibius. Wow. I didn't know that. Their scientific name is also their common name.
Yeah.
Like, that's their Latin name. Hippopotamus amphibius.
I guess we just got lazy.
And pygmy hippopotamus, Charpsis liberensis. Also not Golg. But anyway,
It was worth a shot.
yes, we get a story time from Golg, the gnome from Bism.
Basically, he's like, an hour ago, they're going to do their work. Or rather, her work. Quiet, sad, silent, day after day, year after year. And then there comes a great crash bang. And then as soon as they hear it, everybody's like, I haven't had a song or dance or, like, why haven't I had any enjoyment? Like, I must have been enchanted. I love that everybody just like immediately is like, oh, I must have been enchanted.
Yeah, totally.
It's like the anxiety, depression diagnosis of Narnia. Oh, I was enchanted.
And they noticed the glow as the children and Puddle noticed the glow, but they knew what it was. That it's a crack in the earth to the really deep land. Capital R, capital D, capital L. He's really inventive here with the name of it's a really deep land.
Yeah, what's really how
We have the overland, we've got the underland, and we've got the really deep land.
does that mean they're only midway?
Yeah, well, the gnomes say that these are shallow. They call these like the shallow lands or whatever, or the dead lands, because it's all shallow.
Hard pass.
This is like way too close to the surface for the gnomes, so they hate it. Let alone the fact that she's having them dig even closer to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But all this running and shouting that they saw was actually celebratory.
Yeah,
And
not.
they were running towards the glow, towards home,
Mm-hmm.
towards freedom. Well, they were also preparing for battle with the witch.
Yeah.
But they didn't know she was dead yet. So he's like, I'll bring you to the beginning of where you want to go. Because they ask, like, well, can you bring us to the new tunnel to the surface? And he's like, ugh. They'll bring you to the beginning of it, but that's like, no. Now that I don't have to go there, no.
Yeah, that's too bright for me.
Yeah, it's too bright for me. Ah, ooh, ow. So they go along their merry way, singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead," literally. Spreading the word. Everybody figures it out, and they're all now lighting fireworks like, "Ooh, yay, yes, ah!" And we all get the celebration as they travel along. I thought that they were going to the trailhead of the tunnel, and then they end up at like the crack
Yeah,
of
a chasm.
Bism. They end up at like the red glow,
Mm-hmm.
which is the chasm of Bism.
The lake of fire.
I feel like he had all the intention of leading them to where they needed to go, but he was just drawn to the glow. Like he was just drawn to the deeper earth, as they all were. And he just starts telling them about how beautiful it is down there, and they can see like a fire river, and there's land, and they can see that there's people down there, other gnomes, not people, but gnomes. And Rillian's like, maybe I will. Maybe I will go down there with you. Don't you have somewhere to be?
It's giving Caspian.
And that's what he says. He's like, well, my father went to the world's end. It would be a marvelous thing if his son went to the bottom of the world. And Golg is like, you could see real gold, real diamonds. They're alive down there, he says, growing. He says, you could have a cup full of diamond juice. Which reminds me that this episode is actually sponsored by Diamond Juice. It's one of our new sponsors. They're working with a really, really cool team down in Silicon Valley. And they're making this diamond juice. It's supposed to be really, really hydrating. It's kind of like Liquid Light from our previous episode, but it's a little bit heftier.
Now with 50% less blood.
Puddleglum says, if you ever want to see your father ever again, we've got to go now. And not down there. We've got to go up, up, up. And they agree to go onward. But Rillian says that he has left half of his heart in the land of Bism. Which is, I feel like Caspian said a similar thing at the end of the world. Where he's like, I've done it, but I didn't do it, and I'm leaving part of me here.
Well, he did leave part of him there. He left
Reap
it cheap.
And they hear a big they hear like a rumble noise, and the chasm starts to close, and it sounded just like that. And the gnomes all kind of panic and dive and scramble down the side, including Golg. He just kind of skydives off, and it closes smaller and smaller and smaller until there's no more light, no more crack, no more gnomes, and the travelers are alone once more.
Bye.
Oh, he did tell them where to go. They are at the bottom of a hill, and he's like, follow those lanterns, and you'll get to where you need to go. He did tell them where to go.
Yeah.
So they start along, and they go up a little hill, and then they go down a little hill, and then there's water at the bottom of the hill. Luckily, they're on horses, and it's as if they were even 5 minutes later, they wouldn't have made it. But, you know, things happen for a reason, and the chasm closed when it closed, because that's when it needed to close. The lamps, though, start going out. Like, far away, they start going out, but it's only a matter of time before the ones close to them start going out, because the witch is dead, and her magic is slowly... Whether or not her spell is meant to destroy the underworld, her magic was powering the underworld, and without it, it's falling apart.
Oh yeah, they do mention, you know, they wonder if Father Time is flooded out now, and also another queer point, all those queer sleeping animals.
Yes,
Like, are those all flooded?
but that's much higher up, so that's all safe from the flood. They're assuming that only her domain will be flooded.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going on. The road leads them into a tunnel, and they have to dismount the horses because it got so small. So at least they're on the right track. We're in the tunnel. We're in the curved. And then the lamps go out all together.
Of course.
And they have to travel the rest of the unknown length in total darkness. Fun.
But Rillian, of course, ever the prince says, "Courage, friends. Whether we live or die, Aslan will be our good lord." And Puddleglum is right behind him saying, "That's right, sir."
That's right. Yeah, see, I like the Puddleglum Rillian pairing. He's like the Tumnus to Lucy, except not.
Mm-hmm. He does unfortunately say afterwards, "And you must always remember that there's one good thing about being trapped down here. It will save funeral expenses."
Because nobody will be able to come get them. And they go on for a bit, for a while, a couple miles probably, but it's hard to tell distance when you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they run into a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the end of the tunnel, maybe a turn in the tunnel, but they see this weird patch of blue sort of light up a couple feet
Yeah.
above Puddleglum, who is, you know, not tall, but probably 6 feet.
Taller than children.
Yes.
He's like a Muppet Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, someone climb on my shoulders. And Jill climbs up because she's so brave. She's so brave. And climbs on his shoulders to see closer. Peeks into the next chapter. Chapter 15.
The disappearance of Jill.
Jill says it's a hole. And I could get in that hole if you could put me a little higher.
You don't need to put that finger in your eye. You don't put your foot in my mouth and leave your arms free and like hang on now. Put on that and stand it on now.
Remember when we said Jill would be cute, Southern? Oh, that was cute.
She would be, especially when she says it's a oh.
It's ow. I was listening to the audiobook of this portion, and the voice actor or whatever you want to call it for the book who was reading Puddleglum, he made him sound kind of like Hagrid. Like he was kind of Scottishy, like Hagrid sounding, and it was really cute, and it made me love Puddleglum so much more, thinking that he has a Hagrid energy.
I love that.
So she climbs she was like piggyback riding on Puddleglum, and then she gets up to stand, feet on the shoulders, and she's looking through the hole, and she goes, "I say," and then
and then it cuts off.
yeah, and she gets pulled through or falls.
Or like something pushed her.
Yeah, or yeah, it doesn't
like a
really matter.
reverse
But
push,
she
maybe, I don't know.
disappears into this light, and they can't hear her anymore. And it says that she screamed for them, but they couldn't hear her, which and doesn't really make sense, like in 2 seconds. But whatever. The boys are all mad at each other and themselves for letting the girl go do the dangerous thing because they let her show them up, but now also she's gone. And then we get told what Jill saw, which is the hole looked out of what seemed to be a tall window, not a trap door like she expected. So, this was also not what I expected. I pictured the light being on the wall, but it seemed like they ran into the wall and the light was on the ceiling. And so she was peeking up out of the ceiling, thinking that she was going to like be peeking out of the floorboards or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was looking out of a window, which would be really discombobulating to like think you're going to be coming out one direction and then all of a sudden you're laying on your stomach, except you're not because you're standing up, but you're horizontal. So
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah, and it's so dark that you're disoriented. So
Yeah,
like,
and then it's like bright. You just came out of the movie theater and it's 3 p.m. Well, it's not like bright. It's like a blue bright.
yeah, it's still daytime, not quite the evening you thought you were
Yes.
walking into. But it turns out that those noises that she was hearing had been two different kinds of noises, which is the thumping of feet and then the music of 4 fiddles, 3 flutes, and 1 drum.
4 fiddles, 3 flutes,
And
2
a drum.
and a drum.
You know, everything's like bright and white and splotchy and blotchy and
Right, she was very confused, but it's all kind of, again, context is like, this is the whole point of this book. Context is important.
yeah.
She was looking, she didn't understand. Now she has the context. She sees, oh, there's snow, there's beings, fauns, and dryads dancing. So the thumping is dancing, there's music playing, people are having a great time. This tunnel had traveled all the way into the heart of Narnia. And she had turned around to tell them. She was going to say, oh, I say, we've made it home, we're safe, or whatever. But she gets hit in the face with a snowball. And she's like, oh, I say, and she kind of like, I think she then falls
Yeah.
through the hole and tumbles down this little snow hill.
I bet Narnian snow tastes fucking delicious.
Oh, I bet it's like sweet cream.
Mm.
And so, reasoning for these snowballs, circling around the dancing fauns and dryads, there was a ring of dwarves who were throwing snowballs, seemingly at the dancers. But if they threw them just right and the dancers danced just right, nobody got hit. So it's kind of like those fighting scenes where they throw the swords and then everybody catches them.
Mhm.
Except it would be like if they were throwing knives and nobody got hit. But like soft snow. And it's called The Great Snow Dance.
Yeah, and I love that Lewis adds that he wishes that we could have seen it for ourselves. But, I mean,
We kind of did.
yeah, we
You
just,
described it.
yeah.
But I'm sure the formation of it is very beautiful. Kind of like when they go to the Nutcracker, the land of all
yeah.
the.
He didn't get to see it either.
Yeah, how do you know how beautiful it was? You didn't even
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And, thankfully this is just snow, so it doesn't take her too long for her to just be like, oh, yeah, by the way, help. We're
Yeah,
buried in the hill.
help.
Can y'all come dig us out? And the Narnians, thankfully, don't waste any time and just rush.
Boom, action.
Yeah, rush over to her and they start going at the hole, just digging and digging and digging and digging.
In my head, I saw like a production line where they were like in a big group and they all just get into a line and like pass the tool down the line and they're like and then the rocks are going out the other
Oh my
line.
God. I was thinking it was like the Soot Sprites where they each go take a turn is
Oh,
what
yeah,
you were
that's
going
so
to do.
cute.
But yeah, the squirrels and the owls and the hedgehogs and the bears and the badgers and a panther even now. Like everybody is coming to help and they're saying, wake up the moles.
Yeah, get the pros. We'll do this, but go get the pros.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and she's also at this point, it's like Prince Rillian's in there. I think, that's when they're like, oh shit, the lost prince is in there. Like,
They do kind of think that maybe she's like, you're sure, but just in case.
I mean, she did just like miraculously
yeah.
appear out of the ground in wearing what is, a bright green dress, I'm assuming.
Right, some sort of royal garb of some country.
Mm-hmm.
And Eustace follows after Jill, even thinking that she had been taken into a deeper cave by some unknown enemy. He climbs up on Puddleglum and gets through the hole, not without thinking, obviously. It took him a second or whatever, but
Mm-hmm. But he does bing bong his
yeah,
head.
he jumps out and he hits his head on the roof of the hole, and then drops a bunch of snow in his face, so he's extra discombobulated. And when he comes, like, not comes to, but when he rolls over and is blinking, he's got all of these beings rushing at him with pickaxes, and so he's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, what the hell? And
Starts
he's like ready to
swatting.
fight, karate chop. And but it's only Narnia. Everything's okay. 80s movie, happy time.
Right, and Jill's like, no, stop, they're friends. Like, we're in Narnia, everything's fine, it's all good, it's all good. And then, like, Eustace is like, my bad.
Sorry.
I was in the darkness for too long.
You punched the bride in the stomach.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, and now that these two children are out and they're sitting by themselves and they're back in Narnia, and it just kind of feels like a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the Narnia magic. It's like, okay, we're wrapping up. We're going to be kids again. Let's kind of pull this trauma back for them a little bit so that they
Yeah.
can go back to being kids. Once Puddleglum comes out of the hole, they are all shouting with excitement, like, for Puddleglum. They're like, oh, is that Puddleglum from the marshlands? Like, Trump can put out a search warrant for you. Search warrant? He put out search parties for you, and a reward for his finding. Oh, I'm sure that felt so good. You're so important.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you, Puddleglum.
Right, but then all the
Right,
rowdiness
it's
dies
like-
away because they see the prince.
And then, of course, he's like blonde, but he's all dusty and he's wearing all black. And so he kind of comes out and it's all snowy. So he's like stark against the white snow, his black clothes, and he's probably got his face down all emo boy. And they all knew at once. For there was something in his face and air which no one could mistake. That look is in the face of all true kings of Narnia, who rule by the will of Aslan, and sit at Cair Paravel on the throne of Peter the High King. And in seeing all of this joy and coming together, Jill cries.
Well, it says everybody else broke out the tears that came into Jill's eyes, which I think is really sweet because it's like, maybe, this girl has cried a lot and been openly emotional, but like everyone is feeling the exact same way. So
Yeah.
there's camaraderie in that.
Yes.
We're so-
and
we're
they
so
arrived
close.
just in time for the snow dance feast. Luckily, the dance just ended, and
thank
it's like,
God.
well, you arrived just in time for dinner.
If we would have come back, imagine, we just
Yeah, we
finished.
just ate.
Sorry.
And they walk into a nice cave, and there's a fire, and there's the smell of dinner being finished and prepared, and the kids sit down as Rillian tells the whole story, and they fall asleep as like dinner's finished. And we kind of know the story, but from Rillian's perspective, this wicked witch, he says, doubtless the same kind as that white witch who had brought the great winter on Narnia long ago. So, this is as close as we get to any sort of confirmation as to who or what the Lady of the Green Kirtle / Queen of Underland is or came from. She's just a witch, a wicked witch.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to rule Narnia through Rillian. Same as Jadis through Edmund, but just with more magic and marriage and stuff.
Snakes instead of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the oldest dwarf, whoever that might be, we're not given a name, but he drops this wonderful quote.
And the lesson of it always, your highness, that those northern witches always mean the same thing, but in every age they have a different plan for getting it. And after all of that wonderfulness and happy meal and story times and singing, and I hope they went out and did a little more dancing and
Me
stuff,
too.
we get to our last chapter, chapter 16, The Healing of Harms. Jill wakes up and has a little panic moment upon waking up that she's like still in an underground cave, but she's just in a ground level cave. It's okay. It all like comes rushing back, but she definitely has got some
Cave
PTSD.
trauma.
Yeah, she's got some cave trauma.
She looks up and sees that Puddleglum and Eustace are asleep, and then she yells at them to wake up, and then
Okay, yeah, she yells at them to wake up, and she hears a voice from above.
Dahoo!
Oh, a voice we know from the beginning of the story. Our friend
Don't make me do.
Glimfeather is here. He came earlier. He came at 2 in the morning to deliver a letter to Rillian, and he's sleepy because it's morning time and his nighttime, and he tries to relay it to Jill. I guess he relays the message enough. He says, "Message for Prince. He's gone. You're to follow too. Good day." And he falls asleep. Then, almost immediately, a fawn, Orruns, Orruns, notices Jill and says that she should wake up Eustace and get on the road. You gotta get to Caraparavel. Because the prince is already gone. Like the owl said, he's gone. You've gotta follow. So apparently Caspian didn't really get that far into his adventure before meeting Aslan. And Aslan told him to go home to find his long-lost son. So that is who is at Caraparavel waiting for them. And the owl delivered this message to Rillian early this morning. So he's probably already there. And our two are now ready. No, they're not ready to take their journey. They're ready to eat.
Right. Well, breakfast, but also they get to ride centaurs.
Yeah, they're told that two centaurs, after the centaurs finish eating, will come collect them, and they will be able to ride on the backs of the centaurs, which is very unheard of. I have a name origin for Orin, which is just a kind of color. It says Orin, dun-colored, dark-haired, brown, so just earthy vibes.
Yeah.
And it's past 10, but the centaurs haven't finished eating.
Yeah, because they gotta have double breakfast.
Yeah, they
horse
have a
stomach.
man's stomach and a horse stomach, and they both want breakfast. And then the kids,
Yeah, they say goodbye to Puddleglum.
they say goodbye to Puddle here. I was so shocked.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
that-
that they were gonna go back to Caraparavel, the three, and that Puddleglum was gonna be the fucking advisor of Rillian. But instead, they say goodbye to him here, and Jill gives him a big hug, and I shed one little tear here because they probably will never see him again. Now that we have the context of Lucy and Tumnus and all the other shit, like we're probably not gonna see him again, and it makes me sad. And he will think about that hug forever because he's like, oh, she didn't really need to do that. Like, she didn't mean to do that. There's no way she wanted to hug me. No way. Oh,
Yeah.
I hope that.
She tells him he's as brave as a lion.
Brave as a mouse, more like. And the centaurs teach them lots on their journey to Caraparavel, including the 9 names of Aslan and their meaning. Hello? What are the 9 names of Aslan? And can I know all of them and their meaning? Hello? What? You can't just drop shit like that, Sluis. If we don't come back around to the 9 names of Aslan, I'm suing.
Things of that sort. Yeah, how dare you?
Like, I know he loves to
fucking
drop
dare
shit
you.
right at the end, but if you're gonna drop shit, drop it. Don't just like, and then leave. No. They come down to the river, far below the last bridge, the bridge of Baruna, which we know very well. Of Baruna, that snug little red roofed town where had the Battle of Baruna and the Battle of the Bridge of Baruna.
Yeah, did they rebuild the bridge?
Yeah,
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
why not?
We get a flourish of silver trumpets. Caraparavel, the trumpets, because they're in front of the ship, which is
Right. back where they started.
Yeah, it's got the King Caspian ship, we can only assume.
Yeah, and they see the prince standing, waiting at the bottom of the ship, and they feel I think at first they're gonna go like, "Hey, Rillian," and then they feel a little weird now that he's all princely and surrounded by all the court and stuff, and they ask if they could just watch the ceremony on the backs of the centaurs, and they say,
Yeah.
"You may, yes,
Yeah.
sure."
I mean, they probably don't weigh anything.
No, but the king doesn't walk off the ship to greet his son. He is carried off on a bed by 4 other men. And they put him down on the dock, and Rillian walks up and holds his hand, and he whispers something to him, and they're able to speak for a little bit, and then he passes away. Our boy, our Caspian is...
I'm just crying.
Yeah, no, I'm just
I don't even care.
trying not to. Yeah,
He kneels down and he puts his head. He kneels down by the king's bed and he lays his head down upon it and he weeps. No, I thought I was gonna hold it together.
I kind of forgot about this.
Yeah,
Like,
did you? Because I fucking didn't.
I knew that he died. I just didn't. I didn't think I was gonna
Yeah, this is gonna be excruciating.
be so
I told you.
affected, and I started crying here, and
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't think I stopped until until I was done, and then I was kind of it was fine.
Yeah.
And then I was fine, and then I remembered it was just a book.
Yeah, well, it's a book, but also like it's wonderful. Like it's also like I feel like it's tears of joy because at
After
least
all that,
like he could have been like, oh no, he made it to Aslan's country and that's that, because especially because like in the in the Dawn Treader, like Caspian didn't get that happy ending, and he had a good life in many aspects, but like it was pretty tumultuous till the end, and Aslan gave him
his son back.
Yeah, which perfect.
If only for a moment. Like he knows he can die knowing that his son will be able to live on in his name and keep the will of Aslan alive.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aslan, we have the king of epic entrances as everybody is crying.
He just says, I have come.
I have come from behind them, and he's here. And in this moment, Jill forgets about everything except for her actions on the cliff and her quest and all the signs she missed and how she almost fucked everything up. And she's just like, fuck, it almost all went wrong. And like, if, and Aslan says, don't think of that. I'm not always going to be scolding you. And
Jill says, please, Aslan, may we go home now? And Aslan says, yes, I have come to bring you home.
And he breathes on them, and they appear on the mountain of Aslan. Capital M, capital A, obviously.
No flying this time. This episode is not sponsored by Aslan Air.
No, they have decided not to sponsor this episode. And we forgot to mention, but the horns went from... this was not a Hogwarts March situation. They weren't playing... they were not playing happy music. Well, they were at first, and as they all saw Caspian pass, they changed the music, and they were playing a funeral hymn, funeral dirge, whatever you want to call it, funeral music, sad songs. When they appear on the mountain, the music is still playing. It's just in the air, which made me cry instantly because this is Aslan's space.
Yeah.
Like in Aslan's country, this is Aslan's space, and he is mourning Caspian, and he has brought them here, and they walk up to that stream that Jill drank from, and they see something laying in it. It is Caspian, but he is dead, and his beard is in the water, flowing. They all just sit there and cry, and Aslan cries. Jill notes that Eustace is not crying like a young boy, like trying to hide it. He's crying like a man. He's owning his tears.
Yeah.
And I liked that moment. I liked the call out, but I also, if that's Lewis's standing, then why is he always shitting on everybody for crying if he thinks that crying is?
I mean, yeah, fuck you, Lewis. I'm
Yeah.
crying right now. Like,
I hope you don't hold it against me for the rest of forever that I'm crying right now.
I'm the toughest crybaby you'll ever meet.
And
Well, it reminds me of Ophelia. Not to bring it back around to Shakespeare, but the image of him just like in with the water flowing like liquid glass, and it's such a beautiful image. And then it mentions that people don't really seem to have any particular age on that mountain, so it's like maybe Eustace's crying is also has something to do with like just how,
right, and how long that they were friends, and like maybe there is some, like we talked about at the beginning, or even in the last book, like Aslan's country and the Utter East is where ideas and things can exist in physical spaces. Like Aslan's country is a land of possibilities, and this might make you cry, but he's crying, and in my mind he's thinking of all the time that he missed out with Caspian, and maybe he's kind of manifesting that. Like, he is feeling that and going through it, and he's not living it, but kind of, like, as he has those thoughts and things, he is being perceived as that, or, it's like your soul is just very physical here.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was more of like the burden of like someone who has the knowledge, who knows everything, who maybe even like the way that a parent is like, this, I know how much easier this could have been, like if this or that or whatever, or just, like he says that we can't know the way other things would have happened. Well, maybe he does. So
Right,
yeah, like,
maybe
like
Aslan
you were
does.
saying. Anyway.
And as the time for crying ends, he instructs Eustace to go over to a thicket to pluck a thorn. And when he returns from the thicket with the thorn, it's like as long as Eustace's arm, not like a regular old thorn,
Was it?
right?
This is a foot long.
A foot long.
I mean,
foot long. That's long. Maybe not as long
like,
as his arm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, you're correct. I wasn't.
I didn't have the length. I just knew it was a fucking not a regular old thorn.
It's the size of a Subway sub.
Yeah. He tells him to stick this Subway sub into his paw, and he does it because Aslan told you to do it, so you're gonna fucking do it. And as Aslan's blood drips onto the body of the king, he de-ages, comes back to life as a young Caspian, and hugs Aslan, and he gives him little kisses on his cheeks, and Aslan gives him little lion kisses on his cheeks. And then he turns, and he's so excited to see Eustace. He asks about his second best sword that he broke on the sea serpent, and he's just like acting hella casual. And Eustace is like really shaken because he's like, I was just like weeping over your dead body, and now you came back to life and you're young again, and like what is happening? Like, are you a ghost? What's going on? And
He says that if he were to appear in Narnia, he would be a ghost because he doesn't belong there anymore.
but one can't be a ghost in one's own country.
Yeah, but
So Narnia isn't Caspian's country anymore. His
So-
country is Aslan's country.
yeah. Yeah, and then again, we get a great hope, and these kids, they don't realize what it means to go there. But of course, Aslan is like, no, you're not going here, because when you meet me here, you're gonna have to stay. So you need to go back to your own world for a while.
Yeah, because Caspian's like, well, you're here now too, so we're all here. Let's go party. And yeah, they're like, oh, we are. Aslan's like, no, you don't want to be here.
Yeah, you're too young to party.
But Cassian wants to see their world. What does he say? He's like, was it selfish of me to...
Or is it wrong?
Is it wrong of me to want to see their world? And Aslan's like, no, you can't do anything wrong anymore.
You died.
You
Yeah.
died. You're here. Nothing matters anymore. And he says, sure, I'll send you back with them. You
For
only be
5
there for
minutes.
5 minutes. But that should be long enough. It's like, wait, what is happening? What is happening?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just like, it goes from super fucking emotional to wait, what, wait, what?
Yeah. It's...
And he sends back all 3 of them, and he also kind of comes, and he tells them to beat up the bullies, but just with the flat of the swords. After he smashes the wall that held the door where they went into Narnia. It's as if he broke down the wardrobe and he was just like, ta-da! That's kind of what he does here, except just his back. They don't see his face, because as we remember, every time you come back from Narnia, it's at the moment you left. So they come back and the bullies are still coming up, scrambling sprightly through the shrubberies with Shakira. And they arrive at the top to see a lion the size of an elephant. Well, the back of a lion the size of an elephant.
a young elephant.
Yes.
But still an elephant.
Mm-hmm. And the 3, our trio here, Caspian, Jill, and Eustace, but they're all in their Narnian garb and their weapons. Jill has a whip or some shit?
The crop.
Crop, yeah, which is one of those sticks
a riding...
with the flat on it.
It's kind of like a whip, yeah.
Um,
It's basically a whip.
and they give him a good smacking, and they're like, "That's not fair. You have swords and lions.
Murder fascists.
Fascists."
They legit.
They told the teacher. The teacher comes in, or the head, or whatever they call it. She comes in and she sees the shit, and is like, "I'm calling the fucking cops, cause I don't know what the hell is going on here, but I'm calling the cops." After their 5 minutes are done, Caspian didn't really get to experience that much of the world.
No, just spooking some kids.
Just spooking some kids.
Which a ghost can do anyway.
Yes. He goes back to Aslan's country. Aslan goes back to Aslan's country. And he fixes up the wall because, he can do whatever he wants. But since the police were called, a full investigation had to happen. And it ended with about 10 people at the school being expelled, which doesn't really make sense. What? Why? What are you're... I don't know. Whatever. Sure. It's not why you were here. You were here to look at a lion and a broken wall, and that's not here, so you would probably just leave. But I don't know how schools work. We get a weird parliament joke with the head. Because it's the head of the school. She quits her job and works somewhere else, and then she quits that job and becomes a parliament person, and she loves her life.
The same way all people who are in politics are usually just some
person who wants to be in charge for no other reason than to be in charge.
Ugh. Gross.
Eustace buries his Narnian clothes somewhere by the shrubs, I think.
Yeah.
And which makes like why, but whatever. Chill keeps hers and she wears them on the next holiday ball. Like, why wouldn't you want to wear princess clothes to the fucking school dance? Everybody else is wearing Macy's and you show up in fucking era accurate Narnian clothing, fucking
Mm-hmm.
elvish maid dress or some shit. Like, come at me. My name is Jill Paul.
Yeah.
I was almost kind of a Narnian queen. Almost. If I had hung out there a little longer.
Maybe.
And we have our little wrap up. We wrap up in Narnia, Rilian burying his father, mourning him, and was happy in his days. It's like, okay, well, I'm I'm glad, I guess. Like, it's just kind of boop bop. The tunnels of the caves of the Underland were left open, and it became like a water park for the hot months. Come on down to the caves of Underland, the biggest underground indoor water park in the world. Escape the heat of Baruna and enjoy the cool air and fun of the caves of Underland. We've got the revamped sunless sea slide up and running with only one death per every 100 guests. Fucked me up right at the end, and then it just kind of wrapped up meh.
Yeah, this really had like a dumb kind of like this was the Harry Potter fade out at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban that you're like, what the fuck?
The freeze frame. Yeah!
Yeah, and you're like, oh wow, that just it was
Yeah, it was weeping, and then it was just like, oh, he like brought him back to life, and then he beat up some muggles, and then now we have a water park.
like great.
What about all of the political climate and all of the everything else?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and thankfully rereading it didn't hit me in the same way, but like I feel like I have to now mention why this book is my favorite.
Yeah.
And
please.
it without sobbing. It's solely because I just like I love God damn it. I love the concept of people getting their life back, getting their autonomy when they go to Aslan's kingdom. Like Caspian isn't an old man. He is his young self, which means like he gets to meet Reepicheep as the way that he, essentially last saw him and like be that same Caspian. And like you worry about what happens to sweet Reepicheep, and it's like he's okay. He gets to see his best friend. Or well, I don't know, one of his best friends.
I think maybe best friend following Trumpkin.
And like how much like but it all I'm like, do they have they have to have like time doesn't really change, I guess, in Aslan's kingdom.
No,
So-
it's just forever. You just have forever.
Damn.
And this one wrapped up like quite differently than all the others,
Yeah.
but also the same. Like it really felt like the end of a story, though. Like it felt like the end. It wasn't all the other ones. You knew something else was coming.
Yeah.
This one is the end. And it kind of it is, because our next book is a prequel. And the one after that is a prequel. And then we get our wrap up in the final battle. But this is kind of the end of our story for a little bit of this era of the story.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next book, which is, our namesake.
Yes, the horse and his boy.
I think this one might be my most read book. Because for those who remember, which is just me and Wyatt, when we were first conceptualizing this idea over a year, like 2 years ago, maybe at this point, I just I just dove headfirst into Narnia and started rereading, and then it came to a point where it was like, oh, maybe we should be on the same level, read at the same time, have a certain pace. Anyway, the point is, because of all this just general figuring out a plan, coming up with what's what, I ended up reading The Horse and His Boy like 3 times, also reading The Magician's Nephew at least 2 or 3 times. So we're about to roll into 2 books that I know very, very well even though they're probably two of the least known books. But I'm really excited because I think his prequels are fun. I think there's a lot of good stuff, and he did leave a lot of like little Easter eggy sort of things in this story that'll be fun to forget about and then remember later.
And I do love his prequels. I remembered loving them because of the world building, and reading them growing up. I guess we'll probably talk about this more on The Horse and His Boy and the Magician's Nephew episodes, but growing up reading them chronologically, as my book set was, I experienced it differently. I thought the world building had been there all along, and it was just this really, not really rich, but rich world. But I kind of like it more this way, where he wrote this story and it was kind of like things happened and stars became people and gnomes did the thing and diamonds turned into juice. And then he did these two prequels, and I mean, I guess we'll see how much he really hones it in, but I remember The Horse and His Boy being kind of historic. Like, you learn a lot about the world as a whole and the history and the battles and the maps and the things like that. So
I don't want to give too much away.
yeah, but
because
we will be talking about Narnian history lessons and world life lessons in our next episode with The Horse and His Boy.
much less crying, much
Yes.
good times, and also maybe returning to a certain golden age in Narnia.
With
Who's
some
to say?
familiar characters, maybe. Who's to say?
My heart has been healed by reading this book and this story. It's like again, every time we finish these stories, I'm reminded why I love them so much, why I don't mind, using any of my precious free time to read and to get sucked back into this world, because it is a world that is really needed. And I agree with Puddleglum. I would always rather put my faith in doing the right thing and what I know and I believe is true, even if it doesn't mean I get anything ever. Like, I'd rather know that I did the right thing. Damn it.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Lobster and His Boy with me, Wyatt, the boy.
And me, Clem, the lobster.
Well, I hope you enjoyed crying with us. If you did cry, let us know. And if you didn't cry, tell us that you did to make us feel less alone.
Please.
So you can reach us at lobsterandhisboy@gmail.com. No capitals, no spaces, no special characters. And if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, you can reach us at Instagram or TikTok at lobsterandhisboy. Again, no capitals, no spaces, no special characters. Thank you so much for listening. All right, bye.
Bye.